Well, it's finally time, the Rogue Company Championship Series, and it's the grand finals here as we move forward to Right Turtle versus Black Hand. A matchup that, if you were watching earlier today, you've already seen one. So we are in, I think, for a treat. And just to give you the highlights going into this, before I guess introductions first, Gore, I've got Captain Atsuka here on the desk with me, and this is going to be a really fun one. It is a one, because they're in the winner's bracket, a one-map advantage already for Black Hand. So technically, we're going into game number 2. They've already won one just by being up here, and so that means for them, 2 maps is all they need. On the other side, Right Turtle still need the 3 to win the best of 5. Unfortunately for Right Turtle, this is where we would want to talk about how great things looked when they faced Black Hand earlier, how competitive they made the game. It wasn't that much. I mean, the first one was a 7-0, then was, what, 7-2, 7-1. It did not really go in their favor. They've played a best of 5 since then. Do you think that this is going to be a resurgence for Right Turtle here?
I'm really hoping so, honestly, just because we have already seen Right Turtle go down and towards that lower bracket and then do a fantastic job against realBluTV, who did not make it easy. You know, they took it all the way to our very first map, number 5, which was absolutely insane, and then they stepped up in a major way. But what stood out to me is that they were able to recover very nicely because realBluTV was taking the lead several times in that last matchup, and Right Turtle was able to adapt, react, and make a comeback.
You can see it here. Group stages on Friday. Yesterday, we go through 6 of these sets, eliminate a few of these teams, and so far now we've said goodbye to Rome's Bandits today. We've said goodbye to realBluTV, and we'll say goodbye to one of these last 2 teams, and congratulations to the other one, Black Hand. Again, as you can see, up 1-0 because of their winner's bracket advantage. The Right Turtle maybe coming in with the hot hands, right? They just got off a very competitive 5-game set, which is, while it's going to maybe mentally taxing, physically taxing, is going to give them that warm-up maybe necessary to come back in. But this is worth talking about again. You know, you look just shy of where the finals are, just in front of that 3-0. And, you know, we've done a lot of talking, I think, about Right Turtle and what we can expect out of them and whether they can turn it around. Black Hand, on the other side, just wants to come in and do the exact same thing that they did earlier. And, you know, you've been talking a lot about Delana. I think Gronky has been a huge, huge conversation point. But Fragout as well has just been a standout player for this team. And when you have 3 of those guys, it just feels like everybody is doing their job.
Yeah, you want to talk about standout players, and, you know, we talk about, like, these MVP highlight reel moments, hashtag Delana don't die, et cetera, but when it comes down to the end of the day, it really is just a tight-knit group that work insanely well together. Each one of these players has the potential to pop off at any given moment, but they are consistent every single time, and that is what makes Black Hand such a team to beat, because they work so well together. It's almost impossible to break them up, even when they're moving in rotation. Yeah. It's always as a unit. It's always so quick and speedy. It gives any type of team trouble to really try to adapt and break that up. It's just so difficult to play them.
And so far, again, it's been very consistent. I mean, if you look at the scores for a lot of just the individual maps throughout this tournament, most of the one-sided ones, Black Hand's been on the winning side of those. You know, 7-2, 7-1, 7-0s, things like that have just been in their favor. Meanwhile, and maybe the best example for this, Right Turtle has been playing a lot of long, really competitive back and forth. Last set, 7-4, 7-3, 7-2, 7-6, 7-5. And while some of those were relatively quick, that's mainly factory, the others were all incredibly competitive for them. And you got to imagine now, maybe feeling a little bit of tired. You can see Drew there. Well, smiles on the face. So maybe feeling happy. They've got Prosper. We've talked a lot about him as maybe being the leader. But I got to highlight MS just because you get 3 Ks, what feels like way too consistently to call it a fluke. Like, he's getting way too many good shots, holds really good angles, and so far I think this guy on your screen there has just been a really pivotal player for bringing them back in games where it felt like things might have been lost.
Absolutely, and I'm going to make this quick, but I'm about to hit you and everybody at home with what I like to call Captain's Analysis.
Yeah, let's go
about to break something down for you right here. We're talking about Right Turtle. Clearly, Black Hand has an upper hand advantage. Yeah. They get a free win. Technically, we're heading into round 2, but Right Turtle has some advantages as well going into this one. First of all, like you said, they have the hot hands. They just got off of an insane best of 5 all the way to map 5 against realBluTV. They are well and warmed up. Meanwhile, Black Hand has been sitting on the sidelines, possibly getting cold, almost like icing the kicker in a sort of way. But also another advantage is that Right Turtle does not have to worry about a bracket reset. All they have to do is overcome that one game, equalize, and they are back in the running.
Just keep themselves, like you said, very much in a normal position. You win game 1, cool. It's 1-1. Wash at that point, just go for 2 more maps, and that's the same for every other side. Blackhand, like we have mentioned, that 1-0 advantage makes things a little maybe messy early on for Right Turtle here, but something that I think is going to be fun to watch them bounce back. Once again, though, the way these two teams came in, looking at it, day 1, everyone's saying, cool. Grand Finals, we're already predicting Blackhand, Right Turtle. And then day 2, they're like, you know what? There's some other names. Like, we're kind of surprised. Aerial Arise, Rome's Bandits, they're putting up some good fights. Aerial Arise definitely putting their name, I think, on that list of teams that people were starting to expect to see make a good run for it. And they did, unfortunately, falling just shy of the finals. But it was these two teams mostly expected throughout this entire weekend. And each one has stepped up to the occasion, but it has been, I think, wild to see the completely different paths that they got to take to get to this point. But would you have anticipated this? Right Turtle, I believe, like technically the first seed overall coming into the event, technically now playing as the lower seed in the finals.
Honestly, from the get-go, from the jump, absolutely. These are the two teams that we all saw coming into this one and being our two teams at the end of LAN for the Grand Finals. But with that being said, my opinion started to change a little bit yesterday when we saw Aerial Arise nearly get the victory over Blackhand. That was the first time we saw Blackhand really stumble, and that was against Aerial Arise. So for a time, I was thinking maybe it's Aerial Arise that could possibly take Blackhand down. But we saw them fall to the lower bracket, go up against Right Turtle, and then Right Turtle was able to take out Aerial Arise, putting once again Right Turtle right back into contention.
Realistically, I think Aerial Arise did just a great job of making sure that these top two teams have stayed on their toes. Like, you're not getting out of here for free. They're going to take chunks of you with them. And so far they were able to do so. But it is, again, Blackhand and Right Turtle playing against each other in the finals. And lucky for me, I get to talk to 2 players. We got MS and Fragout standing by for an interview. And Fragout, I'm going to go to you first here. Blackhand, you guys have come in, very dominant performance. In fact, even earlier today, you were able to beat Right Turtle. What are you and your team's initial thoughts going into this set?
We're pretty confident. We're more confident than we were the first series, to be honest with you, because of how bad we beat them. But it's not over yet. We still got a job to finish.
And MS, I guess kind of similar question for you, but the other side, right? You guys didn't have the performance you wanted earlier to start this morning. It goes 5 games in the last set, so you got to imagine maybe a little bit of tiredness kind of seeping in. But how are you guys feeling going into this?
We played bad the first game against them, the first best of 5, so we'll do our best now. We played against Glacier and Co, and we did good, so we'll keep it up, and we'll do our best. I want to win this LAN.
And that's something that's, I think, very important. You look at the two teams, and specifically Fragout here, you guys have players that won the last LAN for roco on your team. Is that even more of a confidence boost? Like, it seems like you guys have been calm and collected. LAN didn't come in with any nerves, so is that like really kind of boosting the confidence?
100%. I think experience is one of the most important things on LAN. It's definitely boosting the confidence, and I got 2 best teammates in the game too. We're just teammates.
Yeah, just hanging out, playing the game, and so far it's been working out pretty well for you. MS, you have been I want to just say pop-off player, right? Like, it seems like there have been rounds, your team has been behind, and then suddenly you just get a 3K, and it feels like it's out of nowhere. Is that something that you're going to be able to channel, or like that you're hoping to channel, I suppose, throughout this set, and that you think you can do against a team like Blackhand?
Yeah, I will try to push, get the opportunities to put them down. They won the last LAN because I wasn't there, so right now I will do my best to put them down, and I will win the next LAN in 4v4. I can tell you.
I wasn't there either.
Yeah, but Delena was there, your teammate was
We're
there.
both here.
That's going to be the balancing point, right? This is going to be the matchup that changes things. I guess, Fragout, last thing for you. Anything that you want to say to MS and I guess the rest of Right Turtle?
I have nothing but love for MS, to be honest with you. He's one of the best players in the game, but I got to take him down because he's playing with Prosper.
You got to take him down. MS, same for you. Anything that you want to say to Fragout and the rest of Blackhand?
Good luck. Good luck. You did good.
Good luck, baby.
Good luck, baby.
There you go. Look, they're going to be screaming in the booth in about 5 minutes. So realistically, this is all great. Thanks for your time, guys, and good luck in your games.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot of fun here. And it's okay. What we see here, I think, is, again, like the love. You can tell, like, at the end of the day, they know both of their teams are incredible, and they know that as players that it's not going to be necessarily easy. But a lot more confident than I was expecting. I think specifically from MS, that like, you know, frag out the rest of Blackhand, they come in, they 3-0 earlier, makes a lot of sense. But it felt like the Right Turtle kind of have all the nerves under wraps as well.
You see, and that's the thing. Blackhand has always had the nerves under control. From the get-go, from the jump, we have not seen them really lose their composure inside of the booth. But with that being said as well, we saw Right Turtle kind of get a little shaky earlier on. But once they went down to the lower bracket, I think they got over the idea that the worst has already happened. You know, now we can come together, and they have their nerves back under control. So they were a little shaky to start, but now I think they got themselves under control.
It gets more interesting. Again, the concept, playing a 5-game set, technically playing 8 maps in a row now for Right Turtle, have not left that booth in a little while. So, you know, being able to get up and stretch, you know, grabbing some water, take whatever breaks that you need that you can. We'll see if that's going to be enough for them. If the hands are still hot. Canals, Palace, the Arena, and Meltdown are banned out. We're going to be going to lockdown here for game number 2. Again, it's a 1-0 up start here for Blackhand. They already have the advantage, so it is going to be starting on map number 2. But interesting bans to me. I mean, immediately Palace. I was looking at the matchup with Aerial Arise earlier for Right Turtle. That's been one they've gone to both times. Arena has been one that they like to go to, but it also feels like something to try and control a little bit of what Blackhand have been bringing to the table. Now we're going to lockdown. We've seen a lot of different strategies here. Already got a Lancer ban. What kind of things are you starting to expect here?
Sigurd's going to get banned, hands down, because we already heard from Frag Out in the very beginning they will not be playing against the Sigurd, but hold the phone, the Chalk ban comes through. I honestly did not see that one coming. That is an insane ban because Chalk has been one of the favorite picks, not only all LAN long, but just in the competitive scene in general. Chalk has always been a top pick, and now that the ban has come through, that means Blackhand nor Right Turtle get to use that player. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt and who they will get to replace that Chalk.
All right, now, maybe one of the most important decisions as we're watching it come in for Right Turtle. Their draft for map number 2. Something that they're going to have to worry about. And there's the Sigurd. You had called for it, and they're going to have to play up against it here. The Dahlia, Fixer, Ronan on the other side. Dahlia, Fixer, Sigurd there. We're going to go down to Heartbreaker and GK as they take us through the grand finals.
Thank you so much. This is it. This is what it is all built up to all weekend long. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the effort they put in to qualify, to make it here. It comes down to this moment. And yes, it was a shaky match earlier for Right Turtle, and Blackhand looked dominant, but both of these teams are capable. They can bring this back, GK, and this should be a much better series.
I mean, Heartbreaker, we did talk about it earlier, right? They lost that first map, and we said instantly, the comeback's going to come back in the finals, in the grand finals, and we're here back at lockdown again. Right Turtle did not do so well last time on this map, but now they're really warmed up and the race is still on, slow and steady, and now it's time to be steady.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got a different comp. I mean, we decided to get rid of the Chalk in this one, and now we have a Sigurd here coming out for Right Turtle, and they saw the Sigurd run towards Red. So now they have to think, do we want to take that fight, right? We try to push that, well, shields up. You know, it's definitely going to be a harder one to do. So as things slow down here in the round, we're going to see what exactly is going to be the first move from either team. And here it comes. It's going to be the biggest push round. They're trying to get the double team, and it works. Frag Out from the left. The other players coming in from the right, and that is going to shut them out. Great shots out of Frag Out again to seal that doorway. He's able to get to cover, and now it is a matter of, okay, where can we get this next big kill? And it is with the damage being done potentially from that dagger that they want to push round and 3v1 Prosper Logic. This leaves Drew out alone in the outside position. That bomb's going to go down. Not plaintive for him at all. And at this point, they just form the line and stop him from coming in. And that's some great damage being done.
I do really hope that Right Turtle don't let this get to them, because it's another slow start for them, right? And MS, how does he even go down there with a shield blocking the people in front of him, you know? He can't be doing that when he's such an anchor on the Right Turtle team. And now Drew's just going to try and play for some money and try not to give any economy away. So it's going to be a bit of a slow one while this one ticks down to the end, right?
And yeah, so at the start of that, you know, I'm thinking, as soon as that smoke went out, it sealed off any sort of cover somebody could have given to the Sigurd, aka a mess there in the cubby, and that was going to put him in an awkward spot because then he's getting pinched. He's holding the shield up because if he doesn't, the 2 players on his left over in red get him. And look, we got a little bit of just maxing and relaxing out here at the pillar. You guys handle Drew. I'm not too worried about it. Actually, you know what? I'll chime in, a hubby out frag. Let's get him out of here and kick this thing off 1-0. Blackhand open it up as they ended it.
You're right, and actually, if people don't know, Delena doing that emote is actually him getting his shots lined up. That's how he gets confidence, by trolling the other team, showing them that he really does not care. He's better than them. So he whips out the launcher and sits and then helps his teammate to finish it off. That's the laner warming up for the next round and keeping it going.
And you talked about, this can't be the start that you get from Right Turtle. Yes, you're down 1-0, but within these next 2 rounds, I'd say, maybe not this one, but within the next one, you need to make a real big stand. You need to come down. Winning one of the rounds would be key because you need that early momentum. If they start to roll again, we saw what they can do. We saw what Blackhand can do if they get off to a hot start. You need to slow them down. You need to bring them to a different pace, because if they start rolling, you can't stop them.
You're right, and the difference here from the last time is that Drew's not having to play the bomb planter role as they're on defensive side, so they do have to use that to their advantage, as they don't actually have a player who's very, very good at planting the bomb and bursting it. It's not something that they normally do. They normally fight for kills.
Oh, how did Frag Out get out right there? Okay, they do manage to get him, but that was very, very awkward with where he was at on that map. These rotations came in so late. He is removed, so it is a 3 versus 2 now. Favor the defensive side, but they have to be able to make something out of this. And right now, it's going to be Drew who falls, and then the high ground has been taken here by Gronky. That's going to be something that they're going to have to worry about to try to get there. The dagger comes out. He has the shield. He rolls out, though, takes the fight, and that's the EMS that they need. Hitting those shots, trying to take these players out of contention in this round. He's done a great job of it so far, but the high ground is still being held. 2 versus 1. He knows that they're coming in the tower. They double do it. He drops off. He gets taken out, but the time is ticking. The time is ticking. They need to get to the bomb, and they need to take it right away. They're checking. Oh, he does get to it. Oh, because I saw the Dahlia running and looking behind there. I said, no, it's to your right. You have to get on that bomb. They do get it. Breath of fresh air.
I mean, that was so close, Heartbreaker. I mean, Blackhand would 2v3, bomb down, and Drew makes the wrong play for some reason, ziplining to the top tower. I'm not sure why he did that. It looked like they didn't have the information that they needed for him to do that, and he almost blew it for his team. Luckily, his team knows what he's doing, and they managed to clutch back up. MS with a beautiful kill as Sigrid, and that's what you expect from them. And I think that's what they're going to have to keep doing going forward. That's their gameplay. That's their game style, is getting kills in their 1v1 fights, and that's how they're going to get into this.
I was a little nervous because they didn't play outside. They gave it up completely, and we saw that it was just a free run over and plan. I saw 3v3 post plans. Like, that's got to favor the attacking side. So Blackhand had the advantage, but they were able to keep composure. I think Frag Out getting picked by being on that side definitely opened that up, and now we get into round number 3. We're tied up 1-1. They've already had a better start than they did basically the entire series, right? They're only 2 rounds away from matching what they had in the entire series. That is going to be Right Turtle, who only got 3 rounds total.
And Blackhand got 21.
21-3. So they're well on their way to matching that at the very minimum. And now things have slowed down on both sides, right? Both just looking for those openings. Frag Out's gotten decently aggressive out there towards that site, but they've stacked dinner. On Right Turtle has simply just decided, we're going to keep doing this and we'll play for it. But the bomb was trying to lurk inside, and that is going to be Drew opening it up, and another nice little body shot, forcing that player even further away. Dagger going to slow down that aggression, but the shield comes out and says, that's fine. I want to make sure you're nowhere to be found, and this is where Frag Out needs to come up big because they don't know he's there, but he misses the shot, and that is going to give away that information. But I'm not sure they're even realizing it. They don't. They're like all turning around at this point.
That is... The map flip is so cool.
Oh, Drew, that's what they need. That is the Drew we have been talking about. If they are going to perform, if they are going to put up a fight, Drew needs to hit those shots. Just look at that hype. That's what they need. We talked about it out in the lobby, speaking with his family. They thought the same thing. He plays so well when he's happy, when he's smiling, and he just doesn't look like he's into it. Well, he's into it now, and that means these shots, well, they're landing, and that's what they need to get. They're 1 round away from matching the entire series worth of round wins.
And when they go past that, they might just take it the whole way, right? They need to deliver a favor back to Blackhand, as they did get 7-0'd, right? So they need to deliver a big win back to Blackhand just to get that redemption. What I will say is amazing and different on this map is that Blackhand normally rolls in a pack of 3, right? But here what they're doing on attack is Frag Out went outside by himself, and as soon as he does do that, they lose the round. So maybe they're going to adjust and start playing together again, because that's the best thing they've ever done, is just constantly going together and having that flow and backing each other up. As soon as they split, they lose a round.
It's something that you hear all the teams talk about. They're always, all they do is group up as 3, and they just go together, and it's like, and they said in interviews, well, you can't stop us. That's why we keep doing it. And then they stopped doing it, and they've lost almost as many rounds as they did the entire entire series. So I do agree with you. I think Blvk will eventually try to swap back to that. They tried it once again this time. It was Frag who's a little bit further away, but he has connected with his teammates now, and he is slowing this down. That's all this is for right here, is to slow down this aggression. But there is a counter ult coming out of that fixer, but it's Gronky to open things up with a kill onto Prosper. He's getting pushed now from the left as he's trying to get over here. That's going to be Imaz, but the dagger on Drew. This is going to be a tough one, and it looks like it's going to be back up 2-2.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Super unfortunate. Drew tried to push the other fixer there, and he didn't realize the pack formation was back, and the Ronin was there to help him, and it took out Drew, unfortunately. I thought it was a bad ult from Frag out there, just to pop his fixer ult, just to really just find out where Drew was, but it was actually a bait. And Drew pushed that lane knowing that he had more fixer ult left than Frag out, but the Ronin knife comes out and ultimately catches him lacking. It's another lost round for Right Turtle.
Yeah, 2-2. Again, this is the competitive though. If you're Right Turtle, you actually have to feel kind of happy about this because you're at least staying in the game, right?
Yeah.
You're not already down and out 4-0 as you started so many other of the maps in the earlier series. This is a fresh series, and you're starting this one, and it is competitive. You're starting on the defensive better, and Drew is winning these fights. Catching the player looking in the wrong direction. Frag out does fall, but the quick res comes in, and they are right back to a 3 versus 3. But they've taken inside control now. They know we have to. They're going outside again. Blvk is forced to take that rotation, but it's going to be relatively free unless they can get there in time to scope in and not get caught by Frag out with that fixer already having pushed up, and Drew is going for the high ground.
And what I like about what Right Turtle did here, Prosper gets that pick on Frag out, and another one falls down, Gronky as well. And now what they've done beautifully here is that they didn't let the map flip. They rotated quickly, they didn't push too far, and boom, everybody is dead. That's what they need to be doing on this map. Do not be 3-man pushing and flipping the map, because it's so much easier to defend the bomb when you're on the defensive side. So what they did is they went back to their spawn and played it naturally, and instantly get 2 picks for doing so. So hopefully they play a bit more orthodox, and it will be in their favor. This is a much better game so far.
Look, he's waving over to us. Look, hey, what's up,
Drew? How you
Drew?
doing,
Nice
man?
shots, nice shots. So I agree with you completely. The way that they have adjusted, and we thought if they come in with the same game plan, even if they play a little bit better, it's still going to be tough. You're going to have to change this up if you're Right Turtle. You're going to have to make those adjustments. But now we get to see what adjustments are coming in for Blvk as we go for a listen-in.
We're going to run into a cigarette inside. Right, I mean, you can continually go for that snipe. I'm just camping your body.
All right. I mean, I don't know what side he's gonna peek from.
Fixer is the link.
That's the
Fixer is the
problem.
link.
He's sniping it.
It's
Did anyone
sniping it,
cross red?
all three in here. 2 red, 1 on site.
Should we leave and then come back?
Lethal out.
I hit him 25. He
Shields
just shielded.
up.
Shield
We
up.
should leave. We should
Yep,
leave.
Yep.
We can always come back.
I'm going right here. I'm standing right here. Look.
I'm gonna smoke middle.
He's still here. He backed up.
Smoke mid door.
Utility out.
You know where Fixer is?
I just ran at it to make it look like. I don't know, but we should probably go back.
All right.
He's probably
I
gonna
mean,
be
they're
red.
probably listening.
think
They
he-
probably just heard me run. Like, you can go.
I think it's close right, though. Go, Link. Close right. Watch out for Sigurd.
Check every rat corner. Check
Are they not here?
one guy in the back. Emes.
Can we get bomb down?
I see Dahlia and
It's just Dahlia and MS, so
Dahlia is
Fixer's
Sigurd.
playing back, too.
Fixer's unknown.
He's in middle. He's in middle.
Enemies planted.
Can I
He
get out?
opened mid button. He opened mid button. Open mid button.
I'm literally one in middle.
Can you leave?
No, if you have to snipe
Leave
him.
left. Leave left. Leave left now.
You should get to me in red quick.
I can't. I can't.
You're
I
by
have to flip
yourself.
it.
I should not be here.
Alright, I'm coming right now.
There's 2 in front of me.
I'm here. I'm here.
Double shoot. Double shoot.
He ulted
We gotta
middle.
back up. Gronk.
I'm slow.
Sniped him. He's going to get linked.
You're red.
I just got the auto sprint bug because Prosper is linked to the fixer.
Like, I'm playing fucking.
I would have
that shit
gotten
is
out,
so
but I couldn't sprint.
Bomb disarmed.
That, even though it didn't go in their favor, I like that play from Blvk. I really, really did. I like that they pulled that fake. They showed themselves, they heard the show, they said, fall back, but don't actually rotate. And it baited the rotates. We saw immediately that the 2 players for Right Turtle started to head outside. They did leave Drew out there for a bit, and then the other, Prosper, I believe, came back. It got them the plant, but ultimately it didn't get them the round because some nice shots came in from Right Turtle.
You're right, and it's unfortunate Gronky couldn't get out there. He knew he shouldn't be in red the whole time, but he stayed to get some shots. They stayed to get some crossfire together, but instead he did get traded out because of the Fixer slow passive, right? As Dahlia, you would expect him to get out, and I'm sure his team is a bit unhappy about that, but they're going to go forward with it, and it was a great plant all in all.
And GK, look here, we have the Sigrid still coming out. It's not just on the defense. We're bringing it out on the offense as well. For Right Turtle, EMS going to stick with that. Drew sticking with the Fixer. You can't blame him for that. And, of course, Prosper on the Trident. On the other side, we got the Dima coming back out. We saw that in the first match between these two on lockdown, and it did a lot of damage. And they don't have the chalk to eat that this time. The shield, maybe a little bit better. Maybe it blocks all the damage.
It does, but EMP, right? So
hits you with that first.
So so he can block the damage, but then he's also countered by the Dima. So Dima's an even stronger pick in that sense. And ultimately, Chak shouldn't have been dying to that Dima ult before, as we saw in the last time they played this map. So that was already pretty much countered. So actually, it's played into Blackhand's hand with the Sigrid.
They used the Dima ult early. That's out of it now. That's not going to be used there. I wonder if the EMP is out. I would assume that he purchased the EMP, but there's not an ult after that, right? That's all you get. And we are going to see that Drew's already pushed up, but they're taking control of Plat. They are absolutely coming in there, but now that shield is there. The nade is there. A dead nade holding them into that corner, but not an EMP coming out yet. They're stuck. It's all three, and all that damage being done there by EMS, who drops Grunky and Delana, and now it is all on the frag out, and he comes up. And they are fired up.
Good.
That is amazing, right? It's a whole different Right Turtle we're seeing here, aren't they? They're passionate, they're talking to each other, they're happy, they're looking at the camera, and they're making plays. They made Blackhand look like the mouse in the cat and mouse situation, and we're going to go in for a Right Turtle listening. It's going to be epic.
Shut down!
Okay, I have tenacity now.
Let's go, boys! We're hot on the sticks, they're cold, they're fucking down bad, they're terrible, they're old. Their fingers aren't working.
They're old.
Yeah.
I got my sniper now.
Hey, should we call it?
Bye for
Wait, do they have sniper? Do they have sniper? No, no one died,
No,
right?
they don't.
You don't mind about. Someone's in. Dima's flat.
Yeah.
Dahlia and Dima on left side.
Probably Fixer middle, yeah, Fixer middle.
Push ahead, maybe?
Yeah, Fixer is middle.
Yeah, and they were both here. They were both there.
I think they run back.
Check it, they might. Yeah. Be sure of it, though.
I think someone is close.
Wait,
okay.
I really want to go. I'm going to go with my spawn, bro, see if I can catch frag lacking.
Close. And one middle, I think.
I'm going middle
Maybe
right now.
two middle. And one is close.
Fake bomb, fake bomb, fake bomb.
I don't see a middle. I'm coming back. Are you guys okay?
They're pushing, I think. Yeah,
Are you
they're
getting EMP? We
pushing.
need help, man. EMP.
I am dead.
Frag one, and Grunky one. They're both one. Grunky's one too.
I'm one,
Not link.
Wait to go, Drew. Wait, is he close?
Frag is
Hey,
pushing.
bang!
Kill him.
He got the ways. 1v1, 1v1.
Pushing. On you.
Oh my god, that's so close. I should have shot another hip fire.
Oh, that's a tough way to lose that one. He hit those shots. I thought this is it. He takes a swing with a fist and doesn't connect. GK, that is so tough. But I want to say one thing first. They're terrible and old. I feel like I would fit in on Blackhand.
I think they were lying a bit because they're definitely not,
They're not terrible,
right? And I think at the point of being 7-0'd, I don't think you can call them terrible and old. That's kind of in your own detriment. You lost to people who are terrible and old.
And that's the round that you lose.
Right, I don't think they should just keep a level head here, right? They've done well, keep it fun, keep it enthusiastic, because as soon as they get a bit toxic, it's not worked out for them, right?
That was, you know, I like the call from Drew. That you can tell he's more into it. He's more vocal. He said, hey, fake that plan. I think EMS actually was committing to it, and then they pushed in. He got caught off guard. So I think that was a misplay on his part, because all that was called was the fake. And then maybe he can get out. Maybe he's more ready. Maybe he can pop that shield, but too little too late. Isn't able to do anything with it. And now it's 5-3 still in favor of Right Turtles. So they're still doing way better. They've won more rounds here than they have in the entire previous series. So they're feeling better. The comms are more energetic. But you want to win this map. You want to tie this series up 1-0. You're down 1-0 because of what was really just a insanely poor series early on, and now we're seeing Prosper Logic do a significant amount of damage, but he recognizes not going to be able to land that nade.
Right.
Not going to happen. Let me hold on to that. And now it's a matter of...
And now the nade's going to come into more into effect, right? As Fixer goes through mid and pops his ult, he has to go through it because of the nade instead of standing in his ult. And now Prosper's going to take this 1v1 with the help from his team, and he's going to probably get that trade-off. He does knock him. Thank God for his teammates hitting him in the back, and it's a 2v2 situation now. Fragout's going to face off against a Sigrid. It's his worst nightmare, and that is in favor of Right Turtle. 6-3. This is the round they need now, because as soon as it goes to 6-4, then it goes to 6-5, and then it starts getting a bit techie.
Now, they want to close it out right here. They want to make a more dominant stance. With the way that the first one went, as you said, they can't just win this map. They need to win it convincingly. Respect us. You're not going to run us over like you did before. We are Right Turtle. Now it's time to go slow and steady.
Right, right. And something that we've been talking about before is that because they lost so badly, they have so much data to work off. They can now formulate a plan and say, look, they did this, they did that. We watched the VOD back, they did this, they did that. Now we can counter it, right? But the thing is for Blackhand, they just have their own strategy, and if it doesn't work, they end up losing rounds, right? But they do adjust very well, and they aren't counted out by any means.
There's that early Dima ult again. It did enough and distracted, but big plays coming here from MS, dealing a significant amount of damage, but he's all alone already. Dart taking it down, and even with that shield going down, he does pick up one, but looking over top of him is the, I think, was it the Fixer coming in and
Delena.
Takes him out. Delena, big final kill right there. That would have been a 1v1 I would have loved to see actually get played out.
Right, right. And I think, let's talk about that Dima ult. It did come out early this time, but the difference between this time and the last time is it wasn't wasted. They did an early Dima ult on Plat, and ultimately the other team had the advantage because they haven't even moved into the site yet. But this time he did the Dima ult on the pillar, and Delena was already in middle. So when they thought, okay, they're going to play aggressive, let's stand on this pillar, Delena's in the middle. Now they're pinched and stuck within that frame rather than just rotating out for free.
Very well executed that one was. Because I first saw, said, oh, were they throwing this? And then I saw the play unfold after and said, oh, this is to perfection. This is exactly the way that they wanted it to go. Blackhand was like, all right, let's talk this out. Let's figure out. They're up to 6. We can't make any more mistakes. We got to go a little cheeky with it. So let's try this out. And now it is going to be up to Right Turtle to once again try to close this out. And it's made his way towards the site. Emes is there, but all 3 players for Blackhand are there in spawn. And he's pushing him out. Now he's getting information. He throws it, but the EMP comes out. He baits it out early. Does he go straight for the plant? He does, and they can see with the reveal that he's there. And now they're going to smoke off the left, and they're going to have him stuck in this corner, and they're 3v1.
Oh, I really thought they would be able to understand that the Dima ult is going to come out and the smoke's going to come out, and you're going to get blocked off every single time he goes for the plant. And he did think the Semtex was going to stop that, and we're going to see a Fixer in a 1v3 situation that he won't be able to fight.
He actually wins. Oh my goodness, he actually takes him out.
I think it was just because he tried to punch him. So he tried to give him a punch just for a little troll, because ultimately he was about to get pressed by 3 people, and with the LR15 you can't double tap like you can on the tier, right?
Okay, we have to talk about this though, GK. What can they change? They're getting up there, and I feel like they're forcing the plant.
Yes.
I feel like they really, if he gets on the very edge, if Emes gets there on the edge of the site, fakes, and then immediately leaves, he gets out of the Fixer ult, he gets away from the Dima ult, he doesn't get anything. Like, you've baited all out. They've already used an EMP, they use all their utility, so why do you keep trying to force that plant? Make them use the utility that they're shutting you down with first, make it so they use that and then they don't get that kill, because once they get that kill, yeah, they use the utility, but it was worth it.
Right, I think the only way they can make that happen is if the Fixer on their team, Drew, doesn't play in red, because red is completely off limits. I would show himself so that they use the Dima ult and the smoke to try and block him, but if the Fixer is on site with the Sigrid, then it's 3 picks, right? Even a C4 flying over the top of that would get maybe 1 or 2 picks or hit somebody 90 or so. So that's how they're going to change this. Don't play red when you're covering over the Sigrid.
I see a little bit of a different play here. I think Drew has gotten off the sniper. I think it was a Mamba in his hand, maybe? Yeah, and he's pushed up close here. So I think this is the play. I think that if they go for the plant, Turtles go for it, and then Drew sits there. He has a C4. They try to push in. He tosses it. He slows it down. And this is the difference that I wanted to see. I wanted to see them change it up. And they already have Prosper all the way here on A, possibly trying to make them distracted. But they're going to play for him at this point. They're playing for him. They already have him down, and there's been no plan.
I feel like he went too aggressive there. He got the bait, and Gronky rotated, Frag rotated, and instead of just going back into luggage and allowing his team to get that free plant, he tried to get a pick or tried to push ground, and that wasn't the play right there. Now he leaves his team in a 2v3 situation, a 1v3 now again, and this is probably going to go towards a 6-6 situation as we see the Fixer with the bomb on his back with a Mamba. This is almost impossible.
They crushed us.
I feel like they had that. Like, Right Turtle, that's a confusing round to me because they had the full site control, Drew was in position, the bomb was there, and they never planted. Prosper goes out, overextends, gets caught between the player over towards spawn and the one who is pushed forward in middle, as we see right here. Where's he supposed to go? He can't go anywhere. And then they start to push out to try to help him, and it's like, this is too little too late. Get that bomb down, maybe play that forward position. That's okay. Try to win that fight, EMS. You're capable of that. But I don't understand the no plant. And why not try to bait them in? You had the position. Drew was up close. EMS is there to plant. They're going to use everything. He pops out. That one, somebody's going to have to explain to me.
I think what you're saying here is they did everything right, and as soon as they did something slightly wrong, the round was over, right?
Yes.
Because Blackhand is only perfect. So when right-hander has been playing so well today is when they play perfect. And that round, they slipped up, and as soon as you slip up, Blackhand takes the advantage. And this is going to be tight here. The RCCS might not come in. It's a 3v2, 2v1. This is fire after fire, shots after shots, 1v1 situation. He does have a sniper. He's going to have to hit that headshot right here and now. The shield is coming up. Shield is up.
Contracts a bust.
That's a wrap. That's going to be the first map going the way of Right Turtle. And they needed it. They needed it. And now it did get a little wonky in the end, right? It didn't go as smoothly as they may have wanted, but at this point, with the way the first series went, you'll take anything. You will take a win. You just need a win. They were hoping for maybe just competitive map, but they've evened it out. That one map advantage coming into this, that's void. We're 1-1 now, GK.
It's basically like they won that winner's bracket game, right? It's only that one game advantage. So now they're on level playing field. Everything that just happened in the last series is pretty much wiped. And the only difference now is that Right Turtle is far more warmed up. They haven't got off the decks since that first series, right? They played that first series, then they played the losers bracket series, and now they're back again. So they are far more warmed up. It's 1-1. Blackhand has lost a map that they do find very favorable for them. They've been playing that map for so long, right? So very well played by Right Turtle. They're well in this game.
Oh, yeah, and that was something I was thinking about coming into this. I know it was talked about on the desk, is Right Turtle's coming off of a big win, a grueling win, one that they had to fight tooth and nail for, so they're feeling hot, they're feeling confident. The other team definitely had confidence, right? Blackhand definitely had confidence after that match, but they just sat and watched a whole best of 5. So they're getting a little cold. It's not exactly to be the same, and we saw that in that map. They looked a little disjointed at times. We kept talking about how well they played together in their previous one, and then all of a sudden, they're a little off. They're getting picked apart. But at the same time, Drew and co. really starting to hit some shots, and we're going to see plenty of those in these replays. I mean, all of these plays from both teams were good, but of course the team that won is going to have a little bit more.
Right, and we heard from Drew during that game, I've got the sniper now, where are you, Fraggy, right? And that's the type of fighting talk we expect from Drew usually, and we didn't see that. So this is already a completely different series, but what I'm going to mention here is, even though these clips are great and it did go in favor of Right Turtle, he still only won 7-6. It was only one round in it, and we're saying that Blackhand was a bit, you know, unwarmed up or iced up, as we would say. But that left them to only lose by 1 round, so they almost won it still. This is going to be a grueling series for Right Turtle if they want to take this home.
Yeah, well, one step at a time, right?
Right.
1 foot in front of another. Right Turtle has to feel so much better right now because, I mean, after going down the way that they did, it just snowballed. Well, that snowball hasn't started to pack yet. So at this point, they're still feeling good, and they can get into this. Now, on the other side, I don't think they're stressing either. Because in that room, I guarantee they're all looking at each other and saying, on both teams, it's a fresh game. It's 1-1, 0-0. You know, there's no difference. So let's start from the beginning. Let's reset. Let's pretend like we just sat back down from a break, and let's try to take this. And at this point, I mean, just looking at the scoreboard here, EMS pops off. Drew with 1,800. The team in general is just together, right? 1,800, 2,000, 2,600. On the other side, though, it's Delano with a lot of damage. Frag and Gronky not showing up quite as much as we saw in the previous. There, it wasn't like one player really stood out, right?
I mean,
it wasn't.
What's interesting is even when they lose, Delena's still MVP'd,
Yes.
right? So they can take that forward, that confidence forward, because he did play very, very well that series, right? But ultimately, the other team played more coordinated and more together, and that's why their stats are more aligned, right? That's what we've noticed, is that when a team's stats are more aligned, they do seem to win. But up next, we have Factory. What do you think about that, Heartbreaker?
Oh, you know, funny story. Factory is a map that I have actually, and it blew my mind, I beat Frag on.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's saying something, right? Like, that's saying something. We
We're
played
talking
them.
about ranked, or what are we talking about?
No, I think it might have been a tourney. It was scrims at least.
Okay.
I think it might have been scrims we did. Everybody was super surprised, as I would be too. I mean, that's crazy. I should.
And what did you use?
Oh, we lost the series. Don't worry, we lost the series.
And what was the element that helped you beat them?
Utility usage.
Right.
If they
I was
can't
gonna say
shoot
the
you,
same. Yep.
then you're going to be able to, I'm on Hvnd, I'm hitting the nades. So, that's one of the things. This map is heavily catered to utility usage, right? You're going to see people, potentially either dropping buys in the cut. You're going to see Dima could potentially still come out. And now that Sigurd, it's not coming in. No more Sigurd in this one. Fixer, though. Fixer, we're going to see more of that. Dahlia, of course, expecting that. Not sure why it's even hovered. Go ahead and click down.
Right.
EMS, thinking the Scorch.
I
That
think
makes sense.
I think that's going to be both sides. I think we're going to see a Dahlia, Scorch, and probably a Fixer on both sides. Fixer is so good on this map, especially on attack. You just smoke out one lane, and you just cover your team and push the whole enemy line backwards. Now, Blackhand hasn't opted to use a Fixer. They've opted to use the Ronin instead, which is still very effective. You can lock off a whole bomb site. You can put your Ronin knife on the wall and block off that whole bomb site, right? And you're invisible. You have a smoke. You have a nade. So you have the lethal potential, but you don't have a Fixer. So this is going to be an interesting matchup in terms of countering each other.
And it's the team to hit 2 wins first at this point, right? They're both at 1. So the team that gets the next 2 maps, the first one is going to be one that takes this home. It is a best of 5, the grand finals here on land in Atlanta. Right Turtle versus Blackhand. This is the type of match that we want to see, and Factory, I believe, is going to deliver just as good of a match.
It's definitely going to be high-paced, high action, and like you said, lots of utility. They're going to have to use the bait and switch a lot, because on these first rounds, there's no tenacity. There's only 1 trophy maximum, right? But there's way more utility than that. And they're going to be aggressive. He hits him 72 with that molly instantly. Frag out caught lacking as well, so there's a weak character. Dahlia, wow, Dahlia down, Scorch down, only one left is Ronin. Now, this is the fire pick, right? What they couldn't do is stop Drew from peeking the left, and they had the right with the mollies, and that's exactly what you can do with a Fixer and a Scorch, and you're leaving your team in a 2v3 situation. They managed to get that res up.
Oh yeah, and I mean, with Delana up, you still have to say, there's always a chance, but it's not going to be this time, right? Like, seeing him back there, I'm thinking if there's any player that you don't play perfectly against, they're going to capitalize on it. It's probably Delana NMS in this server. Well, it didn't really work out for them, but it's always scary. Right, no matter what, if Delana is up, you have to play to perfection.
Right, and the thing is, what we're seeing here is, I think what's getting into Blackhand's head is Drew just keeps talking to them, talking. And like he said, he's much younger than them, right? So you're seeing someone much younger than you stand up and being disrespectful after you've just 7-0'd them before in the series previous. So you're getting angry, you're getting frustrated, and for Drew, it's just, he's already in his game, he's getting in your head, and he probably doesn't even know it. He's just having a laugh and having fun and shooting his gun super, super straight.
And everybody knows it. That is when Drew is at his best. And it's similar. You always talk about when Delana is kind of trolling a little bit, that's when he's at his best. When Drew is having fun, when he's smiling, it's a different player. Everybody said it, and now we're seeing that. He's coming alive, and he is helping Right Turtle to make this the match that it is, right? They've evened it out at 1-1 by taking that second map in this series, and now here they're up 1-0, and he's hitting these shots. He got one of the final picks there. They get the bomb down in this round, and they have Gronky delayed. The whole squad is here on the defense. They're close by, but they haven't gotten to breakthrough on this retake yet.
Is this because I think their positionings are so confused right now? Whereas a Scorch has to stay on site, normally this retake is going to come on forward now. It's a 3v3.
Oh, that flank!
They're all in the same position, and that's not going to work on this map. You can't be stacked up on this map, and that's for sure. There's too much map control. There's too many angles to cover, and there's too much utility, and that's not going to work for Blackhand on this map, right? Just staying in the exact same position.
And, Blackhand tried to get aggressive, right? When they forced the player on Deathbox back, and they thought, okay, now we just fight them, and now we get to see how Right Turtle feels about that in this listen in.
If you play well with armor, though, it's so fucking OP.
Yeah, we'll go armor. How many damage a knife is doing, though?
What?
How many damage a knife?
How much damage does the Ronin knife do?
Like base?
Yeah.
120, 125.
Okay.
On the ground, though, if they hit you, it does a lot more, right?
On the ground. On the...
Yeah, okay, cool,
in
cool,
the
cool,
air,
cool.
it's like 250.
Yeah, it's cool,
That one close. Delana at the back, Delana at the back. And then one just... I think Delana is going to flank. I think I just saw him leave. Can I go play for this?
Might flank. I can hear someone close.
You guys are 2v2v2, right? I'm going my spawn.
I hear someone close.
You guys got to play together, okay?
You hold me? I have armor, so...
He might flank middle, but I'm watching full flank.
I'm planting. I got the bomb.
Running knife.
Running knife?
Go back, maybe. This way.
Watch out, Drew.
I
They're
see
going
Scorch.
to throw a knife at you and shit.
I'm going back to you.
You see Scorch? No way Dahlia's flanking, right? I just saw him, I spawn. Oh my
Frag is there.
god.
Choose there,
Darling, I
choose there.
spawn, darling, I spawn.
On a knife.
2v2, you're in a 2v2.
On me. Oh, boss, half.
I got Gronky.
Nice.
What's going on, Drew?
On
Smoking.
him. Boss on him. Frag half. The boss picking the right, bro.
60. Knocked one.
Nice, let's go. Let's go.
Gronky, no
That was a
flank
best.
for you.
Yeah, let's go.
No flank for Gronky, bro.
Bro, you saw I was
Oh, that was
beaming
an
through
interesting
this
round.
smoke.
When they
without
didn't
my
shoot that
pistol.
dagger afterwards, man, we both looked at each other like, why did you leave that? He's going to get that back. He's going to get to reuse it. Didn't matter in the end. Seeing that is multiple times during this tournament, I have spectated somebody who's watching the flank and catches the toe. What was it? Earlier, Frag out saying, I saw a glimpse of glimpse.
Yep.
And then here, it's just barely spotting that player. I mean, that is so unfortunate for the player going for the flank, but on the other side, well played and great from Drew there. He just kept dealing damage. He lost the vision, got EMP'd, and just kept firing through GK.
And what's funny is, like, so many things happened there. Let's talk about how they countered the fixer with the EMP, but it didn't matter because there's a smoke in the way, right? Prosper went back for the flank because he thought that Delana was going to flank, but actually it was Gronky. So Delana messed up Gronky's flank as the Dahlia, and he must be so confused at that. Like, why is he holding the flank when my two fraggers are in front of me, right? And it's because of Delana, and that's going to get in their head. He's going to say, well, I guess Prosper's just holding the flank in general, right? So we have a 3v2 ahead. They might now play aggressive here off that, but it's just all false information, right?
Once again, it just seems like Blackhand does not want to defend the plant. They just keep giving it for free. This time, it is Delana going for this flank, and nobody is there to watch it this time for Right Turtle. The closest player is actually pushed up quite a bit, and this is going to be an opportunity. Now, I don't know if they can be, oh, it is. It is going to be Drew completely in the open there. And now damage being done to Emas as he floats out. And the Link may try to come in. It's not going to land, though. And even if those shots hit, it's going to be hard to recover from it. We get the first round on the board for Blackhand. And as soon as I saw that flank in the positionings, I thought, oh, this is looking like a disaster.
And that was top tier play from Delana. He knew that they got caught out on the flank before, so probably it won't be watched again, right? At least a round break of watching the flank because they just caught them. But Delana actually sprinted on that flank instantly, and he probably got the comm that all three were at the bomb site at B, and so he did so. And what was perfect is he didn't go for someone who was going to be Dahlia-Rez. He didn't waste his Ronin knife. He killed the fixer from behind with the gun. He still has his utility. He gives the comms for his team. That's how you flank. You get a kill, you stay up, and you give comms, and you keep your utility. I think that's also another reason why they're not stopping the plant, is because Scorch is such a tank. She has so much health, she has a tenacity, and she has toughness. So instead of using their utility to stop the plant, they're using it for post-plant. And this is one of those maps where post-retake is actually quite easy to do because it's so hard to actually see the bomb.
And we saw Frag out getting aggressive that time. He actually pushed a little bit further up, and I think they do want to try to defend it, and he has somebody looking over him. This is the change up. As you said, they were giving it up, and that has built this confidence in Right Turtle that they think, oh, okay, we can just keep going up there for free. But Emas says, oh, you got my guy, don't worry, you haven't finished him. We're going to get this res. And look how quickly that just turned into a 3 versus 1.
I mean, you think sometimes, why is a Dahlia linked to Scorch? You know, you have a fixer, he's going to be sniping. Well, that's why, because Emas is absolutely mental. Keeping him alive is definitely the aim of the game in this one.
That was a good pick, but you have a bigger hill to climb. You're still stuck in this cubby. They're both going to be watching you. It is still 2 versus 1, but that's decent damage down there. Shooting below, but Prosper, as always, looking over, going to be the support and able to get them back on the board. 4-1, I believe, is the score here, and that is the start that you want as Right Turtle. Again, you took that, you evened the odds with map 1. It was close. It wasn't easy. This one's going smooth.
Right, and what did we talk about in map 1? We said they probably lost this after map 1, but the comeback is coming in the grand finals, and they have showed up so well right now, and it's got to come down to the fact that they have literally been in those seats and in that room on and off for the last 4 hours, I would say. 4 to 5 hours, and that's what pro-level rogue company is about, is actually consistency, because we know the gun skill is all very, very level, but it's the consistency of being able to keep going. And Right Turtle are showing that they are very well versed.
I love this setup. This is just to shred anybody crossing over there. They are lined up, they are ready. They're going to deal significant amount of damage. That armor is gone, but the player's still up. So not a lot gained, and now that can be communicated, by Right Turtle, exactly where those players are at, and they can make a play around that. I really, really like that cross, but you need to make it work. Because if you drop a player, what do you do then? You get aggressive, and what we're seeing here is the opposite. Drew throws that smoke, pushes through, gets over to Snake, and punishes them for it alongside Prosper, and that leaves Delana here on the flank, trying to make a hero play, and needs to fulfill that in order to get them back into this one, or we're going into the half 5-1.
And that's what we talked about not having a fixer. We just see Drew dominate that whole left side. He clears it out and then shoots them right in the back because they have no idea where he is and what he's doing. And I do think Blackhand may take that into account when they're picking their rogues on this next half.
Yeah, at this point, you're letting him run free. Drew, if you let him run free the way that he is playing, being able to see through smokes, yeah, if you have the EMP, it works. But if you don't get that EMP off in time, he's going to take you out. And we just saw that case in point in that round. They didn't counter. He pushed straight through, just fires into them from the side. They're already in a battle on the other with Prosper, and they just fall apart. So we do see the fixer coming out for both sides. At this point, it is one of those where if their fixer is doing their job, you have to take 1-2, or else you're just not going to be able to do anything.
And I think that's a good point to bring up, actually, is that the fixer did their job on the right turtle side, but Blackhand played to try and counter that. Instead of making their own play like they usually do on most maps and dominate the style of the round, they were playing off of what right turtle was doing and trying to counter it and trying to make things happen. The Scorch was trying to sit on site whilst also trying to find the fixer. It was such a mumble-jumble mix-up, right? So I think that's why they've gone with a more stable and obvious comp to counter each other and actually make their own plays instead of just sitting there with Ronin and covering one bomb site type thing.
And this looks like a 3v3 clash right here on the B bomb site. Both teams have all three players right here on the other side of the walls with each other. Molotov's going to try to slow that down, so not going to be able to get any use out of that, but the counter comes out with the Molotov, but he runs into it. It's going to slow down, but Prosper's already got the nade kill. That is what he's known for. And Drew coming around that side, and it is that quick. We hit a 6-1. This is a reverse right here of what we saw in that first series. 6-1 GK. Who would have thought?
I don't think anybody would have thought. Everybody at home is probably thinking, what am I actually watching? And I actually want to give a shout out. You know that peak that we saw where they went into the corner and they cubby and they tried to shoot the other team as they were crossing Blackhand to right turtle? That's called Tahola peak right there. He coined that. He said, come with me. And this was years ago and it's still being used till today.
It's so deadly.
Yes, it is. It's so unexpected, right? Because you can get there by crouching and you just want to cross. You just want to get to the bomb site. It's a natural thought. But if you get shot by two people, especially if they have DMRs, back then it was all about the DMRs, right? Two MXRs there means you definitely get a pick.
Look at this change up. We're seeing right here. They went from all three being towards B, and now right turtle has decided, you know what? Let's see if we scared him a little bit. We'll put two over here. That Scorch behind the side is going to be dangerous. The body shot comes out, and they're probably calling it finish him, take him out, and that is going to be Emas who takes down Frag, but they are going to be able to get that res, but not when you can see through the smoke, and that's going to be Drew who shuts that down. 2 versus 3. Spots the players. He can see the outlines. He knows that there are two over on that highway position, but he looks a little to the right. Maybe he doesn't realize it. I'm pretty sure that I saw two close. I could be off, but they have the bomb down. It is right there in the site, GK. They can do whatever they want at this point as long as they defend this.
And whilst we have the time, right, whilst the flank is going on, I would like to say they've completely reversed that 7-0 that they were hit by earlier. Now they've dropped a 7-1 where it actually matters. And I'm going to say 7-1 because the bomb is down, and unless a flank from a fixer pays off, which is actually happening right now on B, he's rather close to Prosper than he thinks. This round will be over, and
that's going to be what the play comes down to. It's going to be a matter of who wins this flank, because they are going to try to hit this at the same time.
I do rate how quickly he did it, right? He's crouch walked right into that position instantly, knowing that this is the only way we're going to get the round back. Prosper is watching it, but Delana deciding to run a little bit here, and I think that's going to give his way his position. Prosper's probably found him and just holding the door he's coming through. Now they have a 2v1 inside.
Yep, and Drew's definitely calming here. I only see one. I only see one. And at this point, Gronky, his job right now, I guarantee you it's being calm. Just distract him. Just distract him. But the flank comes in from Delana, makes it past Prosper, and with 8 seconds left, oh, Gronky's so low, they can both focus on the side for the time being. He gets in there, tries to get the bomb. The bomb's been dropped yet again, and this is looking like a 7-1 victory for Right Turtle.
How do they do it? How do they change their mentality completely? How do they get that composure in check and just win like that? I mean, they did everything right, and what I think is the key in this whole situation is banning Chuck. They're banning Chuck. It's completely ruining that playstyle that Blackhand had of just doing the same comp and using the most tough rogue in the game to breach sites. And without that, Blackhand are a little bit lost. Now they're one game away from losing the whole thing.
This is absurd, and just look at the difference in the rooms here. As you see the cameras, they look so different. One, hype, energetic, excited, and earlier it was all smiles. It was all giggles coming out of Blackhand, and now they're looking a little nervous, GK.
I do think the maps has a little bit of something to do with it. Those two maps are very like util based and util and angles and whatnot, and less about plays.
They did win lockdown earlier, and it was one-sided. This time, they lose, but barely. So even with that,
I do think the whole point of them having defense first on lockdown there made a big difference, right? Because Drew was able to do what he wanted rather than trying to plant the bomb, and we saw their bomb protection is very, very good on lockdown. That Dima ult and smoke is almost unblockable. You probably need a trophy, and that probably is the only real counter to that. Let's have a look at these replays and see what we're actually looking at here.
Oh, this play, when he swung around through that smoke, again, no EMP allows him to do it. And of course, always, that Scorch, popping that fire, this flank was beautiful. I wanted to see this from his point of view. He swings around, and so quickly, you saw, he knew what was happening and said, oh, I'm gonna go around the backside, gets there, gets the damage done. Love that play from EMS. This one was a little more questionable. It was the next round. He went for the exact same play, gets punished in that flank you were talking about, GK. That one from Delana, that was very good.
Right, and just talking on that that play that MS just did, he did so much damage there on the front that you would assume he'd stay there, right? He's done 50, 40, 40, and him to jump up and roll over, that's why he's so good at this game, and that's why he's one of the pros and actually one of the best players in this game right now. It's on everybody's tier list.
Oh, yeah, we get to see it again. That's, I mean, just look at that. Look how much damage he was able to do coming through that smoke. And then the reposition, because the player actually jumps over that wall. And that was that final round. The body shot sniper, and it all came down to this right here with no time left. And they clutch it out.
If Blackhand does lose this Heartbreaker, I'm going to have to say, they might not team together like the way they have been, because that's an absolute upset. The team they're facing off against is very new and very fresh, with Drew joining that lineup, whereas normally it is Slopodopoulos, MS, and Prosper. It's now Drew, right? So they actually haven't played together all that much. And in terms of scrims, it's two EU players and one NA player.
Look at the damage there. Gronky and Frag out. 612, and then not even 600. That right there is not what you expect, and it's not what you can have when you're playing a team. It's like the reverse. We kept saying this. You can't have this damage, Drew, if you're playing a team like Blackhand, and now we're saying you can't have this damage, Gronky, if you're playing a team like Right Turtle.
I mean, this is the cool thing about Rogue Company, right? You can never actually count good players out. We think one thing, and then we come back again in the grand finals, and it's a complete opposite. At the very least, we did say they would come back to some degree, right? And we did say they were slow because they are turtles, right? And it's slow and steady. The race is not over, and now we're reaching the final pinnacles of this race, and it seems like Right Turtle can actually see that finish line, and Blackhand are looking like they have been handed a bad one, right?
Yeah, they definitely. And with all of this said, we are potentially one map away from Right Turtle taking it all, or seeing whether or not Blackhand can bring it back, and we'll find out which one it's going to be after this break. Welcome back for what could be the final map of the Rogue Company Championship Series LAN here in Atlanta. And it's not the way that we thought it would be.
Literally, nobody could have predicted what we've seen here.
This has been an experience to see them go down the way they did in the upper bracket final and then make it back your Right Turtle to take down Blackhand in two back-to-back maps and just completely void the 1-0 advantage. And now it looks like we are going to Wanted.
Ooh, see, the maps here have been really, really offbeat, right? It's not maps that are usually played or have a lot of team-based rotations to them. It's very, very pedal to the metal. Lockdown was intense, Factory was intense, and now Wanted is one that teams normally avoid picking, and they normally ban it because it's so different to the other maps that we're used to in this game, right? But I think what we're going to see here is Fixers out again, just because of the lanes. Would you agree?
I think it's completely possible. And after seeing what Drew has been able to do on it, I wouldn't be surprised they actually just ban it. Like, they just want to remove that. I think because of the lanes in this and the way that you can move around the map, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronin got removed from this one, because those lurks can be extremely deadly. You know, if you find your way through middle, if you take an early push down street and get around the backside, but then, you know, if you're getting rid of a Fixer and a Ronin, for instance, if you go that, you're leaving a Lancer in.
And also a Sigrid. Which
yes.
we see, oh.
No, that one's out. That was the one that they said for sure, you're not getting that one.
What's funny is Fragout said that he is not getting killed by Shield at all this weekend, right? And then the one game they don't ban it, they lose, right? So I think he's now, and he had that 1v1 when he was Dima up with the shield up against him, so I don't think he's ever going to let that happen again.
Yeah, and we see Chalk is the other ban, which is interesting, which means Lancer is in play. If EMS goes Lancer, he can be very, very, very good on the character. And I've seen throughout this, most of the people who pick Lancer here on LAN get a little nervous. They don't play really confident. If there's somebody who's going to play confident on Lancer, it's EMS.
I would agree, and he hasn't got a lot of time on Lancer in this game, right? In these tournaments, right? Because he's so good at it, and in King of the Hill 8, he made a name for himself that can never be denied, right? So it's been banned most of the time. So this is going to be really interesting to see if he has that fire and that aggression and confidence to make those flanks.
And Lancer's been banned so much that like you haven't seen him on it also because it's just never here. And a lot of the maps, sometimes you still have to take a risk because some of these comps are just so set. You know that you're going to play a Chalk. You know they're going to play a Scorch and a Dale. So it's like, where do we throw a Lancer in, even if it's not banned? But a map like this, again, with all those pathways to be able to pop around. And I mean, if you're running through the library over there, there's just so many opportunities to be able to make something happen that I think that's going to be a crazy good pick. However, you'll never know where that Ronin is, and she may be waiting for the lure.
And I think because they don't use it as much in scrims, nobody's going to know like where Lancer is right now, how fast she is, and how quickly she gets to this position. So if they were to come to the A side, they would have been probably screwed, right? But they've chosen to go B, and it's worked out in their favor.
But
that
information's been gathered, right?
And they pushed. Look at that. Look at that. They pushed the spawns. I love that Blackhand do this. They like to flip the whole map and then choose. And they've done that within 20 seconds of the round, right?
It clears everything
incredible.
out. And even though EMAS has managed to make their way over there, and Drew as well is up top. So, but he runs out. He's all on his own. So they've already taken the spawn control, as you said, and they're able to take him down from behind. That has brought us into a 2 versus 3, favoring Blackhand. And now EMAS falls as well. And it is all up to Prosper here. And this, if they pick up this round, if Blackhand goes up 1-0, I think they get some of that confidence back.
I agree. What a play, man. We thought that they haven't played this match that much, and then the first play they do is unstoppable,
oh, look
right?
He was giving a little teabag right there. Prosper getting saucy, feeling it after that victory.
I mean, it's that whole essence of, yes, we lost, and yes, we lost that first round, but we're still going to talk to you, and we're still going to get in your head. And that I really, really think Drew getting up and shouting at the other team every time he got a kill was getting into their head every single time and stopping those play calls that Frag Out normally can do.
And so on this map, anybody at home, you're noticing that they're playing so far back from this bomb, and that's because the lane is so long. You can plant and then watch it all the way from the other side of the map, which means in order for them to, I mean, look where it is, right there in front of the truck. You can be so far away that if you just hold and you just wait, they have to go so far to get you. That time is ticking off and ticking off and ticking off. And if you spot them doing it, what can you do then? You just start to fall further back and further back. And as long as somebody keep an eye on the bomb, or in that situation, you know it's the only player alive, it's a free round. And
the only thing you can actually do when they get that post plant and they go all the way back is hope that when you go for the defuse, you find out where the fixer's peeking from and your fixer snipes him. Is so much hope and so much luck involved, you might as well stop the plant when you can, right?
Yeah. And again, those boots are cracked right away for EMS on that Lancer, trying to make something happen here, trying to gain that early information. They will be spotted, though. As they jump up onto the balcony, they are seen by the opposite team's fixer. Blackhand's fixer, they have that information. They know it's pushing through, and Drew is going to get punished, and they're going to make sure Drew is not coming back into this round. Then they spot the player that's up top as well. That's going to be Prosper. Also, I believe EMS is up there, too, so I know both players are here. Now it's a matter of what they decide to do with it.
I think EMS is trying to, like, take away that essence of them knowing where he is by not showing himself for a couple seconds now, but his head's just been seen again, and now they know both players are here. Although they do have them pinched, it's not quite in their favor, as a rotate is not too hard from the spawn side. The only thing they have in their favor is the minutes, 1 minute left in the clock, and the fact that they do have a great control of the map.
Yeah, you see that they're still taking it step by step for Blackhand. They're still falling back step by step, slower, but it's going to be Prosper who takes down one. They threw the Simtex to the first player off the corner. They're getting aggressive. Gronky taking a decent amount of damage right there with that warrant that's been picked up. And it's going to be EMS who wins that fight. He gets traded out. We're back down to the 1 versus 1. The link can't come through. Wrong player still up. But if they can get there, I'm not sure he has the fast res up at this point. I'm not sure if he bought it just because he does have that dead eye.
He's really trying hard to get close to MS on the floor so that he can bait that revive, but Fragout is too good at this game to allow that to
And
happen.
he spotted him running towards the right, so now he knows he can freely get here towards this A site and try to plant, and it's probably going to be able to go down before Prosper can get there to stop it. The bomb starts to get planted. Prosper's going to have to be trying to make that play now, and it looks like Fragout is going to stay on the site with the SMG, which means you have to take the close quarters fight, and you're rocking a Deadeye.
Right, and let's just get some context here. We did have an interview with Fragout, and he said, I have to beat MS here because he's teaming with Prosper, right? And now we have a 1v1 bomb down situation, 25 seconds on the clock. Prosper versus Fragout. I know he heard the interview. I know he's got fire in his belly. Let's see if Fragout can really talk the talk and walk the walk.
He's going to try to stretch it. He's trying to tap it right here and see if he can draw the player off. That's going to be Fragout up top. He wants to try to bait him out. Now he knows where he's at. That's one where I think you still try to make him jump over the wall. If you can start to defuse and get him to jump over or at least swing out wide, you may not be able to make a play out of it. But at this point, it's one of those ring around the rosy moments. He has to be able to force this kill. Prosper's unable to find that player's going to open the door, try to push around, but he just back in the window. And this is all about just letting that bomb explode at this point. You don't need to take the fight. You don't need to give him the opportunity. And that is going to guarantee that you win the round.
I think he had the right idea when he was trying to ninja defuse that behind the wall, because that required Fragout to peek much further out than he needed or wanted to, and that would give Prosper the advantage as he has the DMR. He only has to hit 2 headshots and he kills him, whereas Fragout has to maybe hit 4 or 5 AR shots to get his kill. He had the right idea. He found out where the enemy was, and then he charged at him. And charging at him with a DMR, you're probably never going to win that round, especially with so much area to go round in a circle. Fragout's just going to keep dodging and dodging and dodging.
Never even gave him the chance to shoot, and that's why I totally agree with you. I think that Prosper should have tried to stick that bomb a little bit, at least enough that Fragout goes, oh, I actually need to commit to this for a second, and that's your best opportunity. It's a little bit of a misplay there, but 2-0, still plenty more to play. And again, they have the map count. So even if they manage to go down this one, we go up 2-2, and we go to that game 5.
That infamous
could be
game
exciting.
5.
And maybe we will, maybe we won't. Still very early here on Wanted, and we're back to a more passive setup. We're not seeing that super early aggression. They're playing back, and they have to because they want to know what is the Lancer doing, what is EMAS doing. So Blackhand has decided we'll play more passive, we'll lay back, and we'll see if we can catch EMAS on that Lancer going for any sort of aggression. And I think he did. I think he pushed up. He tried to see what he could find, got nothing out of it, fell back. Not going to give up that kill, and now it is silent across the map.
And I think that Right Turtle do actually know now what Blackhand is doing after watching the VOD review of the VODs from the previous series, where they were confused at where are Blackhand? We've not seen them. It's been 30 seconds into the round. They now know they're just literally sitting in their spawn, waiting, sitting on each other, just as they're about to do 3 people in one spot, waiting for that flank,
left.
right? 40 seconds. Now, just hold a bomb site. You know they're going to go in 3s, right? So you do have to do the 2-1 split, maybe one in the middle, and just try and group up as soon as possible. And they're going to get some sound cues, some audio cues here, as you see them group towards A. Now, this bomb plant is going to be surely very hard to do. Someone should die on the exit here. The nade fails, and that is just poor play from Right Turtle there. They knew where they were going. They only had 20 seconds, and they still couldn't stop it. MS is going to be the key to winning this round as he flanks round the back.
And that smoke in the eyes there is going to be what is supposed to be the distraction, allowing EMS to push through, but Fragout takes down Drew, puts him in the situation where they get try to beat up, and then EMS dies on the flank. That was a clean sweep and a 3-0 start now for Blackhand, who are back in this series. 1-1, then we go up to 2-1, favoring Right Turtle, and this map is definitely going exactly how Blackhand wanted it to. They're up 3-0, and they have gained the confidence back. And now we get to see what they're thinking and how they're dealing with this 3-0 lead.
Gunsmith, does it actually help at that range? Are you sure it helps at that range?
Yeah.
Because we were in shooting range and it didn't help for LMP.
This is like 100 meters away.
No, the same drop as last round. I'm going to swerve left A last second. You guys can go B.
I'm gonna watch the flank though.
Yep. Slowing down a little bit for you. About to plant now.
I'm planting the bomb. Bomb's
I'm out.
active. Don't let them
How far out should we be, Frank?
We should do what we did last time. We should all just get back there.
You can go on roof and look at bomb, one of you, while I'm watching flank.
You're going to have to be front for the
Oh,
first round,
EMS is right here in front of me. I gotta kill. All 3.
All 3? I'm coming to you as quick as I can.
I'm here, baby.
In front of you, you're running.
Just stay left, just stay left. No, don't
come over here, Johnny. Come over here if you can.
No, I'm chilling right here. I'm not running.
They have fixer smoke though. They can.
Right below me, Prosper. He sits 80 below us. Gonna bounce back maybe. Nice.
Drew's one on the little thing.
Nice.
All enemies
Yeah.
have been eliminated. That's one way to.
I like those comps, GK. I thought that was very, I mean, again, they're calling out how low HP is, what players there. One, oh, I've got all three. Very good, allowing people to reposition. We saw Delana calls it. He calls all three. Gronky comes in for the support. Frag out maintains. And then, of course, they just start to pick them apart. They even call, oh, Fixer, he still has smoke. He can play, but it didn't matter. They get torn apart anyway.
And just building on that, one of the comms he said was, I've hit Dahlia, she's weak, 20 health, but maybe bounce back, right? You don't want to set your teammates up. You do want to give them the right information, and that's the type of comms that Gronky gives, right? Just like you said, he loves that util comm, as well as that the perks comm as well. He does know so much about this game, although what I will say is 0-4 down. I doubt they have the perks and the utility they want right now.
Yeah, and this time it is a little bit of a change up from EMS. They've decided to push the full left side of the map. Now, they've been going up through the courtyard and trying to see if anybody's going towards the A-bomb site. And Blackhand has been playing so far back that none of that information is being gained, so they've changed it up and they've sent him over towards the left on the B side. It does look like, however, that Blackhand have somebody on that side, so if you go for the full flank, you will probably be punished. And they are a little B-heavy this time for Right Turtle, with a player up top as well looking over EMS, who has pushed up.
You got to think here, right? If they're playing for the Lancer that hard, do you just take A control? Do you just take the whole of A control, let Lancer rat somewhere on the B site, and play it that way, right? Instead of just holding so far back and then allowing them after 40 seconds in the round to then push the A site and get inside for free, I would suggest maybe taking map control whilst nothing's happening, right? They can be afraid that maybe they're crouch walking and pushing forward, but that's the risk they have to take at 0-4 down instead of just letting the bomb go down once again.
Yeah, all these retake situations. And now, I do think it's a bit easier to take A back than B, because, again, they can fall so far back on the B side, and this dagger is going to stop anybody from trying to come through that window. Throws the C4 behind the box, clears that out, nobody's there, and tries to reunite here with EMS so that Right Turtle can try to break through. But then the smoke comes out, the vision comes out and says, no, you can't come up here. We're going to buy some more time, and they're being shut out right now. They cannot get back in here for this retake. It's just getting more and more difficult, and finally, Prosper, or rather EMS, trying to jump up to help Drew, and Drew gets put down by Delana. Great shots there, unable to finish him, but there is a trade coming in here. Prosper Logic takes down Gronky, and now Drew falls again. This is falling apart, and it is all on to the final player on attack to just make sure they can't touch the bomb.
It's so weird how these games are playing out, right? You would expect them always to be 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, just like we saw on the last, the map before, the first map, right? But it seems to be like they're either playing very good or very bad. They're either making the counter or they're getting countered. We have a 5-0 situation here in the grand finals.
After a 7-1.
After they just got 7-1.
I'm going to say it now. I thought the Lancer pick could be good. I thought this is spicy. And against, I think, almost any other team, EMS may have some success with a Lancer. Blackhand is not going to let you find the hole that you need. They're not going to let you make the big flank that you need. As we can see here, Delana's going up top. He's probably watching for these exact plays, but this time, Delana said, or rather, EMS said, I found nothing last time going towards B. Let's go back to me just trying to figure out what we can get there, but they're not giving anything at the start. They play so far back, waiting for these plays, and then they finally push, and Prosper definitely just got spotted there inside of the library, and at this point, again, we're just at these early round stalemates.
At this time, we do see a slight adjustment, and this is their last attempt at winning this game. Drew's taken map control on A, and he does get a pick instantly. You see, when you start to play aggressive and adapt to what the other team is doing, you do get the picks, and already they're 3v1. This is what they needed to be doing earlier, and unfortunately for MS, I feel like he did get baited into playing Lancer, thinking I have to play it. It's such an OP rogue, I can do so much, but actually, Blackhand have the play call just to stop that.
I don't know if you saw, I think Delana's behind them. Delana's completely on the other side. I don't think
And
they're
he's
aware.
smiling.
And look at him. He's like, they don't even know I'm here. And he's still feeling good, because even if he doesn't clutch this one up right, they're up 5-1 if they lose this one. It was also interesting, because I'm pretty sure I saw Prosper throw a grenade at Drew. They did, I think, laugh a little bit afterwards, because it was after the fights had all ended. They do have somebody, I think it's the Dahlia, that's Prosper, watching the flank. So now they're going to be aware. They crack the vision, and all they have to do is wait it out, right? They just have to hide. EMS is basically saying, hey, I'm over here too. You're not safe. And they clean that one up to bring it to a 5-1. The problem is, those adjustments, that difference between, oh, Drew's pushed up, whatever, that came too late.
Very late, and maybe they can play better on defense, just like Blackhand did. And that's a common saying. If they can do it to us, we can do it too. We can do exactly what they just did back to them. But the only difference here is I can guarantee almost is Blackhand won't be playing Lancer. There was no effect, absolutely no effect with the Lancer.
Well, I think if they did it, again, I think that they're just a team that the Lancer can't work against. And you can't make those plays against them. They're always going to be watching, and they wait so late in the round that you've already made your push, you got no information off of them, and then they're pushing late to where they can send somebody in, get that bomb plant because you're giving it to them for free, and then they can just fall back. Blackhand can just set up in the post plant, and then at that point, they're watching for the Lancer flank. It's never going to happen. So neither team now, I think even EMS realized, all right, well, that didn't work. We're not going to try that again. We're on the attack here. I'll go back to Scorch. I've been deadly with it. Now let's see what we can do.
I've got a question for you quickly, right? Do you think a big counter to how Blackhand plays is Claymores? Because you can cover lanes and you can stop that three-man push and instantly, because they just push forward. They don't really check for Claymores.
Because they don't give themselves time to do that. They always do these slow pace. I think you're onto something, GK.
Right, 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left of the round. They managed to get the bomb down. It's just so confusing to me. And I'm just thinking Claymores would allow you to push up, play something that's an explosive, does damage, stops the push. And it means when you wait for 20 seconds, you lose the round.
Now, the counter to that, however, is if they know Claymores are in play, they probably play different. They're a very smart bunch. But here we go, straight into the action. And this time, Frag Out opens things up. Ronin Dagger coming through. Drew is dropped. The Res is coming in, but he jumps through the window. He's going to be going for the pinch, but EMS pushes out, takes down Frag. Prosper with a big nade onto Delana, but Kroenke with the trade. When it comes down to the 1 versus 1, Dolly versus Dolly, and they are both so low. Oh, it was not a 1v1. The link did come through. So Frag Out from behind gets back up and takes him down.
That was almost super exciting, right? We almost saw Dahlia versus Dahlia, Kroenke versus Prosper. That would have been the face-off for who is the better Dahlia,
and they were just trading shots.
They
were
trading
both
shots.
low HP.
It was 80 damage each, right? And so unfortunate for us and the viewers, the res came in, and at that point, it's completely over. What an great opening pick from Frag Out there, taking out Drew, one of their top fraggers.
There it is, right there. It's just in time for that. Oh, so close, but 6-1. We just saw a 7-1. We may see another 7-1. What a wild series, and that will just clean the slate. I don't think either team will be feeling too high. I don't think either team will be feeling too low. I think they'll just be like, okay, we're right back to it. We're tied up. Let's see what Right Turtle can do in this round. Can they get the second round? Can they make it so, haha, we got one more round on you? We are about to find out right here, right now, and it looks like EMS and company have decided to push right in. They're trying to get this out, and they're using a lot of utility to clear this, and then Prosper holding down middle does cut off rotation. Kroenke has been removed from the equation. That man advantage is going to be big in this post plant, and they will fall back in here and take control of the library.
Right, but I wouldn't count Blackhand out here. They probably are taking some good advances. They probably formulate a good plan, and they have two strong rogues, right, to make something happen. They have the Fixer, I believe, still, and they have the Ronin knife, so they have everything they need. If they get this kill here, and just like I said, right, they now have a 2v2 situation, and he picks off Drew as well. I can call that an early 1v1 situation. MS
but
versus
EMS says, no, that's as far as you go.
That was MS versus Delana there, right there, wasn't it? I wish we had a bit more time between that. There was a Scorch ult popped. I will give Delana the props on that. It's unfortunate. MS, well played, backing up your teammates. We're getting into those super intense 1v1s, and this is what we normally expect from teams like this, to be so tight between the rounds, right?
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, when you're down now, 6-2, every round, one at a time, Don't think about, oh, they only need one. You have to just go one at a time. Don't even think about the overall score. You have to piece it together, because one mistake, one misplay, and they take you to the final map. This needs to be completely perfect play from Right Turtle, and I'll tell you right now, Blackhand will be doing everything they can to disrupt it and make it far from perfection.
And this is what's great about Blackhand, is because they take every round so seriously, you know they can't be angry at themselves for trolling. No, they're trying to win. It didn't work out, and now we can keep going. They can build on that. They don't have to get angry that they lost rounds for you know, making troll-type plays. They're trying their very best.
Oh, that's a big kill. They're definitely going to get back up unless they can make something of that Molotov. And I was wondering if they were trying to get aggressive. They do, but it is back to the 3 versus 3. Both, we've had a link used. I don't think the link was used in the second one. I think that was a hand rest. Not 100% sure, but here is Delana. Padded steps going through. They've spotted a player, I think, to try to make sure everything's clear, and all 3 of Blackhand are going towards that left side. They're trying to pull a little bit of a pinch here, but they're, oh, that's going to be EMS who gets spotted. Can he deal some damage? He does enough damage. He's able to drop one, but it's going to be killing coming through, but he's able to finish it, and that is going to get Drew there, taking down Grunky in the back, bringing us to a very, very awkward situation for the Fixer that remains all on his lone. So that's going to be Delaney's able to chime in for one, but that bomb is nearly ticked, and they slow him down, they take him down, and we get a third round for Right Turtle.
That was almost close, though. Delaney got one, he hit the other one 90, and if the other one was not in library there, that would have been a 1v1 situation with 20 seconds on the bomb. This is getting so close now, though.
Delaney has nearly done it 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Nearly. Just shy of doing it 2 rounds in a row. And if you're Right Turtle, you're saying, hey, we got it. It doesn't matter how close he gets. But on the flip side, if you're Blvk, you're going, look, all we need is one of those.
Right.
All we need is one of those.
The thing is now, the whole consensus is, when it was 6-1, they needed 6 rounds to win, but suddenly they only need 4 rounds to win. And like you said, if they do it round by round, they suddenly get to a position where they're at 6-6 again, okay? So this is how we've seen it play out before. This is the crucial round, of course, because they will have to go to map 5 otherwise.
And look, we're seeing the rotations here, and we saw a different play from Prosper. Prosper sitting back, looking for anybody who's decided to go for flank. They say they're probably going to try something different this round. We've been beating them at A. Look for that. Nothing quite yet. And now Prosper's going to make that move to join his Right Turtle teammates. Wherever Hvnd, where are they at? They don't know.
Right. What I think Right Turtle doing here is really, really cool is they're using the Blvk strat. They're playing slow. They're moving up slowly. Why not, right? They found a member of the enemy team stuck in that corner, and that's a bad Ronin knife. He does get traded out by Delana. Does the res come off? No, he manages to finish it. And looks like another round is coming this way for Right Turtle, right?
Yeah,
All
they
have
get
to
that
do is
thirst.
not get killed by a DMR or SMG, I guess.
Oh, big shots. They're at it. Drew, he is coming up exactly when they need him, and they are bringing this to the wire. They want to end it right here, right now. We don't want a 5th map. If you're a Right Turtle, you're sitting there going, close it out. We will not play another. Blvk have to be getting a little shaky now.
I mean, I would say both teams have to be a bit shaky now. Whereas 4 rounds ago, they were saying, you know, let's just focus in and lock in for the next game, you know, or thinking it internally, right? They can't always say that. Suddenly, it's now 3 rounds, whereas it was 6 rounds before. They're halfway there to their goal. And like you said, Blvk are getting a little bit nervous now. It's not going to plan. They do have defense, right? So they don't have to coordinate the play to win the game. They have to stop the play that's being coordinated. So it's a little bit of a favored situation in that case. But Right Turtle are taking on a challenge.
And we're seeing a very similar thing, GK, is that before it took too long for Right Turtle when they were on defense to finally say, you know what, let's not just give it to them. Let's not give it to them. Let's try something different. Let's be proactive versus reactive. We're seeing the exact same thing, and now the opening pick yet again goes the way of Right Turtle as Grunky is dropped, and it looks like now they want to swing out. They want to force this fight. Oh, he just escapes, but the smoke's used. He now has no more smoke, and they have taken a lot of ground.
And the fixer ult.
Yeah, the fixer ult went out as well, so we won't be able to look into the smoke if Drew decides to do it. And we are just getting to the point where we need something absolutely massive out of the 2 remaining players. And Fragout has the knife out. He's hoping to get something big here, and the possibility is certainly there, but he throws it a little too early. Great bait there from Emas, and he says, oh, where do you think you're going? And he's able to call Delana as well, and I bet he's going to take that fight, and he's looking for some support from Drew. He's not going to need it, and they take it to within 1 round, 6-5, GK. This was far from over at 5-1.
It really was, and we should have known from Rome's Bandits, right? They've been doing this a lot this tournament, coming back when it's literally impossible. And Right Turtle, of course,
learned from it, apparently.
Oh, wow. Being in the grand finals suddenly changed up their tempo. They are the kings of this situation, right? They don't care if they go 5-1 down. They know they're so good, and that's why they're playing so good. When they know it, they play so well, and that's the difference we're seeing from this series to the last.
This is the round I'm expecting something different from Blvk.
From Blvk,
they
right,
have to try to really get in there and change this up because they know all they need is 1. And look, this is it. We called it. They're doing the exact same thing. They're pushing up. They're taking control of the library, and they're getting all of the information here, and they don't know. But I think that was too much. I think if you get the player there into the room on the right, you leave them there by showing that you had pushed in as well. Now they can just rotate. Now they can just go to the other side. Now, if you can rotate quick enough, if you are Blvk, then that might play into your favor. But with that, I think they showed a little too much, and now the rotations are in, and it's going to be all up to that fight. It's going to be Drew comes out on top, but the res is coming through, and that will get them that advantage. And now Emas is right below them. What can he do?
honestly, that was mighty close, right? He did get the trade, an impossible kill on Frag, and Gronky being Gronky, one of the best Dahlias in the game, was right there next to him and managed to get the trade and the res, and that's so unfortunate for Drew. He's going to be kicking himself for pushing the boundary slightly too far.
I was just thinking Emes is going to be able to potentially go for a big flank here, but I think his feet might have been spotted, as it is actually Gronky sitting in the window there. If he tries to make this play for that flank, he's going to get punished, because Delana is actually covering the site. That is going to be Gronky in the window, making sure that they can't get there, and it's just the one defender over towards that B bomb site. Frag out rotating over. Gronky's making the moves as well. 2 versus 3, 6 to 5. It comes down to this, whether or not we go to a map 5 in the grand finals here of the Rogue Company Championship Series. And with that, oh, that's a big dagger. Now they drop down to try to clean up, and if Emes can't come up with one of the biggest plays of his career, we will go to it. 13 seconds left. Time is dwindling down. Damage is done, and we are going to a map number 5.
These are two of the best teams we have ever seen play this game. I mean, when one goes down, they come back straight and harder, right? I don't know how this last map is going to go. I need to see what it is, right? I hope it's a map full of tactical plays and one that's slightly bigger, because that allows us to see the true IGL team and team plays come out from both of these great sides.
Yeah, and with this, they got the 7-1, right? Right Turtle end up coming back. They get that 7-1. Then it looks like it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be a 7-1 in favor of Blackhand, but they actually don't get it. And it's brought back by Right Turtle, which means Right Turtle is going to be feeling good. They're not getting 7-1 in return. They've already put up such a good fight to take it this far. And I mean, it had to end this way, right? We kept hyping up all weekend that these were the two teams we wanted to see in the finals. These are the ones we expected to see. Well, they made it. And after the earlier match, it was like, oh, maybe this isn't the match that we actually want to see. But it turns out it is. And it makes perfect sense to be going back to a game 5.
I have to agree, and I think Right Turtle are probably going to be thanking Aerial Arise for this, right? Because they gave them such a good fight. They were already fired up, right? So when they came into this series, they knew how good they are. They remembered how good they are. And those rounds, like you said, when you go down 5-1, if there's more games in the series, every round counts. And now they're thinking, right, we went 5-1 down, but we did the same back to them. So if they go down again in this next map, they can use that same count and say, look, we went down last map. We just need a few more rounds and we can bring it back. So Right Turtle are going into this last game really, really strong, and Blackhand are going to play the same game they've been doing, and it's going to be super interesting. Let's check out these replays.
Yeah, I'm loving the plays. Again, being able to bring it back. We saw very similar defenses, and then we finally saw that change of pace, and they just did it one round earlier. On the previous side, they waited till they were down 5-0, then they finally countered it, and that allowed them to do it. And this one, they were down, I believe, 4.5, and then, of course, they did it one round early, and that managed to do it and close it out. There are some great plays, some big shots. I love Emes on the Scorch. He's just so good at it, just getting so aggressive, and he'll just take fight after fight after fight. And this one I thought could have been good, but again, that's where they don't give you the 1v1s. There's always going to be someone there to clean it up. It's kind of the same role. This time, it was the Dahlia for Blackhand of Gronky. Normally, it's Prosper on the Dahlia who's looking over at his teammate. So just a little bit of a reverse, and for the MVP, it's going to be Frag Out, who came out with 11 downs, pretty big. Emes with a bit of damage of his own, and then Delana with 2,300 damage, almost 2,400.
And what this doesn't show, the MVP board, is that Frag Out and his kills were, a lot of them were the opening picks of the round, right? Those entry frags, and that's what makes him so crucial to this team. His timing is so good, and that's the same for MS on Scorch. He's so good at being aggressive and understanding. I've been told there's 3 players. I know where they are, right? So I'm better at shooting my gun than the other player, so I'm going to push. Not only that, I can pop my Scorch ult, and the fight's not even. He does it so well timed that it always seems to work out for him, and I hope he does play an aggressive road like that again in this next game.
With the way that they are playing, I think he has to, and it's really going to be what we're finding out right now, which is what map it is, and it's Glacier. Can you imagine you're going into a game 5 on LAN, grand final for everything, and you're hitting Glacier, GK?
I find it weird, right, how Canals has been blocked, Palace has been blocked. I understand Arena, and I understand Meltdown, two newer maps to this pool of competition, but leaving Glacier into this is a real toss-up in the air, right? Because it's such a big map, there's so many lanes, and the way that Blackhand plays, they play really slow, right? So Right Turtle are going to have their setup 1-1 and 1 in the middle, right? But we know Blackhand are going to wait, and then they're going to 3-man push something, and that's going to keep Right Turtle on their back foot because they're going to be isolated at all times. So I do hope they pick rogues that have a lethal potential. At the same time, I do hope to see great plays from Blvk.
I'm actually expecting that we might not see them play as slow. I think Blvk might pick it up on this map because of how quickly you can just rush towards a site and just, I mean, if they climb up there in the middle and stuff like that, they just jump up, take upper control, and then just sprint through to their side, fight whoever is holding glass, you know, the window up there. It's going to be interesting because this isn't a map you see that much.
No, it's
I
not.
think this whole tournament might have been played twice.
Right.
You know, so, and I do think that might have been one of these teams that played it one of the times, but overall, you don't really see it. So this one is not what's expected, but I think it's fun to get it for this final map because it's not expected. And I bet it's the reason it got through is because neither one of these teams thought it would get this far. So they just figured, okay, we won't get to that point. Let's ban the maps we want. We'll try to close it out early. Well, that's not happening. These guys have given us a treat, and we didn't think it would be, but I'm so glad it has been.
And I think you're right, actually. Probably neither team thought it would actually get this far. That actually makes complete sense of to why to block Palace and Canals,
With how confident they both are, they probably all thought this was about to be a sweep.
Well, the question is now, Heartbreaker, do you think on this map you do need intel? Because it's such a big map, right, and you don't know where people could be hiding. Do you think they play intel? I assume the Chaka is going to be banded. That would be my advice. Just from how they play.
Of course, the cigarette's out, the chalk's out.
Right.
Yeah, so nothing that's just going to allow you to just burst in there and take it. The glimpse on this can be very good. I do like that pick. Plus, that does give you that intel. There is a little bit. It's a little different in terms of the intel. It's not something everybody gets to enjoy and see. But with a Dahlia link, I mean, you kind of can. And the map is, it's big, but it's more lengthy and not so much wide. So you can actually see or be able to get that link even if your glimpse is maybe a little bit further away, because if they're over towards the right of you, you just got to kind of get towards mid. You'll be able to hit that link and all should be well. We're of course seeing Drew lock in the Fixer because with the way he's been playing on Fixer, it makes complete sense. On the flip side though, this Scourge comes out for frag out. Not unexpected. Gronky on the Dahlia, of course. Prosper on the Dahlia, and we're going to see the Ronin with the Lena.
What I think is interesting is I would have assumed the Glimpse would be more effective on attack and the Ronin more effective on defense, right? But that's not the case here. That's not what we're getting. Because the Ronin would be invisible, the Dahlia can link to the Ronin and the Glimpse would be nullified. But we got that on the opposite side. So that's going to be super interesting here.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's just a matter of they're testing the waters. They're trying something different. As you said, as I said, I don't think they expected to get this far. And now it's a matter of, okay, we have limited practice on this map. Let's see what we can do. Let's try to get that information. But here we go, live on what is. There's no more, oh, it could be. It is the final map, GK. This is it. It all comes down to Glacier to decide who will be your Rogue Company Championship Series champions.
Oof. You got me fired up with that one,
have to be.
You got
This
me
is
fired
it,
up with
GK.
that
We
one.
have to
I'm
be.
itching right now to see who gets this first round, as it is a pistol round, right? And that means you do get a gun the next round guaranteed, depending on how many kills, or if you even have any input into the round, you're going to get enough money, right? And as we said, as we both said, right, you said they're going to play faster, and I said they're going to push as one, and together, we've got it right. They've taken B-site much more than probably the enemy team knows, but they are in the exact same location. I don't think it's actually that good of a location to be in, especially as they're pinched if someone goes down to middle.
You've got two people with great lanes on it, and Drew's just making sure they can't get flanked. As you can see, Glimpse is sort of when that's going to be a mess. Prosper's playing further back, and then but it's so quick on these rotates, right? They can drop straight under the ship and get there, and they've done that. And now it's going to be the 3v3 retake over on the other side. Drew's able to deal a significant amount of damage, but the player will escape. EMS, using the invisibility, will go underneath and try to make a play. Basically, I think just trying to clear things out, potentially go for that flank and see what he can do. He's able to spot the player behind the box, will force him out of position, clears it out completely with that Semtex, although might have been a little unnecessary there, and that dagger on the other side is going to be dangerous. EMS doesn't realize it, climbs up. They're trying to get this revive. The shots are coming through, but it looks like it may be a safe one. Back to the 3 versus 3. Frag out gets aggressive. Oh, he's so low HP. Does he want to go for this? No, that's a bad one there as Prosper tries to roll out, gets taken down. And what could have been a big advantage goes in the opposite direction. And now it is going to be Delana who removes Drew. Gives him a little bit of a teabag just to say, yeah, you thought for a second. All on EMS here, 1 versus 3, and he's being flanked.
Friendly's eliminated.
Heartbreaker, heartbreaker, heartbreaker. I've just thought about it a lot, and I do think Blvk, I'm going to predict this off the bat. I think they win this half, or because of the picks alone. Glimpse is completely useless here on defense. As the Ronin Dahlia link, you can only find one person, and that person's, you already basically know where they are most of the time, right? So this is going to be so tough for Right Turtle to play. They need to now play and adjust right here and now. No orthodox plays. MS, go do whatever you want.
Yeah, I thought it was odd that he was playing in the window because they were playing very standard. You had 2 people watching to see if they're going to push through. I'm like, why is he in the window watching over that? He should be the one lurking around, trying to find that hole in the attack. You know, it's odd because you say like hole in the defense normally, but no, you need to find where you can get around there and catch the attackers off. And this is that upper play. They've jumped up immediately. They might decide to crouch walk through, but they're going to be going straight through trying to find. But it's Drew on the other side who'll be able to spot this and make that call. And we have somebody on the stairs just behind him. They have decided to drop back down. They heard that nobody was coming through middle, and now they'll be going for that B plan.
This is interesting as well because they did the same thing before, but this time they're not going to rotate knowing that someone else has to hold the other bomb site because they did that so easily last round, right? And that's probably going to be MS ratting somewhere just like he is in middle. He was waiting for that rotate that never actually came through this time.
Yeah, just how quickly they can move around the map. Blackhand is doing such a good job. These are the change-ups that they were doing in that first series. Delana with a big opening kill. The C4 comes out. He's going to deal 70 damage, but there are people looking over. They're not going to be able to get in there to finish that. And if they had, then it would have been actually a bad plan. There it goes. They finally come in. So too little, too late. Delana cleans it up, and this is a big, big start for Blackhand.
That could have been the play. Honestly, for people at home who don't know, that almost was it. Drew threw his smoke, and unfortunately, it was not quite deep enough into that zone that they were all in. He went through it thinking he wouldn't be able to see, and they just saw him completely, right? If that smoke was slightly deeper, he gets 2 or 3 kills. Let's have a listen into Blackhand and see what they're thinking right now.
Play slow, all 3 lanes. Somebody sit far left, somebody sit far right, and somebody sit mid.
I think Frag goes mid, because you could, me and you are the
Alright, yeah, I'm going top mid.
Me and you are the fucking...
Just like call it, like look for intel on where they're at. I'm going left, yeah.
Are you looking to the right too, Frag, or just mid?
Just mid.
I'm looking at that
All
door.
top mid, all top mid, all top mid.
All top mid?
At least 2.
Okay, at least 2. So where are they going off
I can
that?
kill Fixer, bro. He's close left.
I'm trying to get to you then. What's going on, Frag? You're not the lead.
He's one shot.
We want to ape? No, we're all
They're
here.
both one shot. Ape.
Bounce back on Dahlia, probably. I got Drew. I got the full. Stay alive, stay alive. There's a guy low right flanking. Go forward on the Dahlia and keep going. Go forward on the Dahlia and keep going. Keep going.
No,
Keep
turn
going.
around, just turn.
Okay, he's right here.
Just half.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Let's get shit.
That's what I like to see.
Good job listening, going forward.
That was perfection on the reaction to those calms. That is what you dream about when you have a ranked teammate or a teammate in ELOs. You're just like, please give me that level of communication.
I mean, when we hear something like that, you think they're unstoppable. I mean, Frag out with the chip damage, right, and his 2 teammates not showing himself. He does 50, then he does 60. He goes, okay, push, right? Gronky looking around, sees the other enemy behind them. Push forward, I got the finish. Push forward, keep pushing forward, right? But the funny thing is, Delana said no. Just kill him and turn around. And Gronky said, yep, okay, cool. They're so adaptable, so malleable to each other's plays, but ultimately they do listen to the person with the most confidence in their calls, right?
Yep.
I love how they are able to just adapt so quickly.
And they make those on-the-fly decisions, and that's what sets them above so many other teams because they're all together. If they adapt together, that is it. So that's why they have to listen to the comms, because if they don't, if one person decides to do something different, it falls apart. They don't mess up when they play together. I thought, though, that C4 from Drew was going to do a lot more, but he gets punished, and that's it. And yet again, it is going to be Blackhand who gets to the site essentially for free, gets that bomb down, and they've chosen a different place to plant and a different place to set up for the post plant.
Oh, he's gotten out somehow. I guess that's the armor coming through. That could have been a huge pick for them on that team. MS trying to make this glimpse usable and viable, and he just can't counter the Scorch. He can't counter anybody on the opposing team. And like I said, they're going to have to do something super unorthodox because what they're doing at the moment is not working out.
That nade didn't make it quite as far. I think the play there was to hit that nade up top. That would then allow Drew to make a play on the low HP player, but it doesn't matter. He ends up getting frag out as well. They're trying to get the Ninja Defuse, and it's going to happen. They will end up finally getting on the board here. It is 3-1 in favor of Blackhand, but finally, Right Turtle gets around.
Right, and we see some fire, we see some amp, Prosper being that glue that he's been all weekend long. The Dahlia, he really has to get his team in check. MS not showing the emotion that he normally does when he plays so well. He's locked in. Drew locked in. They know, as they do want to talk the talk, but they have to be serious right here. They've finally won a round on this map. this is it. This is tournament game, right?
I think we'll start to see a little bit more fired up when they get the second and maybe the third, but they know they're still down by 2.
Right.
This is Glacier, a map that I'm certain they're not as comfortable on, so they can't let up. They have to stay in the zone, but they will, I'm sure, start to get amped as they start to close that gap. But Blvk, they don't want to allow that gap to happen. They want to grow that gap. They want to keep building on the lead that they have, and it looks like once again EMAS is just trying to get that information to be able to pass on to his teammates. He's getting sneaky. This is what we wanted to see. He's starting to push through. He's not just playing back in a more default role. He's actually padded stepping around the ship, trying to get those pings, trying to let his teammates know, yes, they're on your side. Start to make noise. Let them know where you're at, because I am coming for the flank.
Right. Hopefully it does come fruitful for him, because he's so far away from his team. And you know, as soon as Gronky finds out that there's someone on flank, it's not good for the opposing team. And look,
they're swinging side. As soon as he gets behind them, that is so unfortunate.
It's just
Blvk
like
now
almost they
drops
know.
underneath, but he's going back that way, and the teammates for Right Turtle are going on the other. So he'll still be on both sides of them, but it looks like he might choose to clear the upper side first. The C4 coming out, see if he's going to be able to do it. Oh, they've got the trophy down, and he's not going to be able to do anything with that. He, however, does decide to throw that smoke out there. We'll get the vision and force them back. EMP comes through. He will no longer have that vision.
This doesn't seem like it's a very good map for Fixer, right? Just in terms of you can't catch the enemy off in an open position. You can just get out into a different building instantly, and we have Delena versus MS here. Oh, whilst his teammate's getting killed, so it's a 2v2. It's trades all over the place here. This is the finals, everybody. Oh, and all just like that, it's suddenly over. You think they get the first pick, then they get traded, and Blvk once again making the most of the knowledge they have and the information, and they get the res, and suddenly 2v1.
As soon as I saw EMAS on that flank and he wasn't getting the kills, he was dealing the damage, I thought, this is it. He's causing the chaos, and now we want to hear what they're thinking after they lost that round.
I just can't leave, eh?
I mean, you have to retake easily. Like, I don't know, they can do something against the Fixer wheel. When I'm in their back.
Yeah, we needed to pinch better. I insta-killed Scorch, like.
I make 60 on 1 in, so I make low Dahlia as well.
Deploying utility.
All on top.
Yep, aping, 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 aping.
Play the one dead. That's a link.
He's linked. You're one, Drew. Frag one. Dead.
Nice. I'm finishing that.
There is a nade. He has lifeline.
You, my.
Play that half in front of you, in front of you.
Yeah, he's one.
Can you fight that or not?
Yeah, I do. I can't anymore.
Gronky, you're here on ping. They might push you.
Me. Yeah, they are.
No, they're gonna push me.
2 on me, at least.
We need to fight.
We've armed the bomb. Disarm it.
Hey?
No, B. In the open field, so he has to be close.
Frag out in their spawn, They've got no knife.
He probably run below. There is one close to me. Yeah, Delena.
Two. I'm weak. The other guy shot me behind you.
All friendlies eliminated. I like to see.
Delena's the luckiest.
That was tough. So with that, I like to. Drew made a high-risk, high-reward play. He pushed through, he caught them. They thought, I threw a dead nade, I've got all this there. Like, they're not coming through. He decided, yes, I'm going to take that chance. But then there's a Ronin dagger, too, and immediately he goes down. And you have to know how frustrated he is, because he thought that was the hero play they needed. And I don't necessarily blame him for doing it, but when it doesn't go your way, it looks really bad.
I think part of the reason it didn't work is that it's Glacier, right? Normally when he does that, he's been in that situation so many times. He knows that he can only do it for this long, or this nade will kill him here. But in that situation, I also think he got EMP'd. So he went into his smoke, and he actually couldn't even see. He was just blindly firing, and then a Ronin knife comes at him.
Behind him, a Ronin knife under his feet. He can't see anything.
And you can't blame him for wanting to get that finish, because finally they have the advantage in a round. But Blvk are so good, and I don't think Drew's used to playing against a team that just so team-orientated. There's no one away from them. They're always covering each other. One person dying means the world to Blvk, and that's why they're 5-1 up.
Yeah, and so we have to remember, though, because this looks bad, It was 5-1 last map, and they brought it back. They didn't win it. This time they have to go further, and that is by don't lose this pistol round. If they want to make the most of this, we need for Right Turtle to send us into the next round with a W. That's the only way that they can really cement a way to get it, because then they have more wiggle room. They can lose another round like they did before over on Wanted without it being the end of the map. So, and again, this time, it's not just the end of the map, GK. That is the end of the series. That is deciding that they are not going to be the Row Company champions for this event. So this is the do or die. It is this map, and they are down 5-1. No mistakes can be made.
Well, it's going to be dangerous for them. I did see a glimpse of Delana smiling. And when Delana's smiling, it's dangerous because he's happy, he's confident, and he wants that MVP title back. He wants to be the champ once again, back-to-back champs. I don't think he's going to make this easy for them. And the Right Turtle trying to make the same play similar to how Blackhand did, you know, take one bomb site and then rotate underneath. But they're not doing it as well. And the whole reason why Blackhand is going to counter this is because they made the play.
And they were even on defense. All three of them were running together as if they were the attacking team. For a second, I had to look up, but that is going to be the opening pick to see if they're going to be able to get into this. But they get back up. Prosper's stuck underneath. He goes down, and that's somebody they're not going to be able to res. And Emas gets very low too, but they are able to drop down too. And this is what they need. 2 versus 1, favoring Right Turtle. They want to push up. They want to take this fight together. A lot of damage being done. Gets around the corner though, and he needs to get that drop. He's unable to do it, and that is just detrimental. But it's going to be Emas and the 1 versus 1, able to capitalize on the low HP of Delana and secure that round 5-2.
Right, and just like you said, they know that is the pinnacle round if you want to still be in this game. Drew Whitlock, what a fantastic flank that was, okay? Phenomenal play to understand that the timing is now, I need to go help now because they're going to 3-stack, and they did, and they had an all-out war in the smallest little area, right?
So one of the big problems that I am seeing when it comes to Right Turtle is almost every round they are winning when they have, and previous maps as well, it comes down to a 1v1, and they do manage to take it. But on the flip side, when Blackhand was winning rounds, they were pretty lopsided. They weren't all 1v1s. It was 2v1s, 3v1s.
Yeah, I get what
they're
you mean.
keeping players alive. That's more wiggle room. You can make a mistake when you got 3 players up, and then you're in the 2v1, then you just sort of lock down. When it's the 1v1, you lose a battle and it's over. 1 battle and it's over. 5-2, they'll have the weaponry, and let's see how it plays out here on Glacier in this map number 5.
It's a funny one because they're almost on top of each other a minute ago. One team was on top and one team was below, right? But they have no idea. And that's what's funny about Glacier is you can go split ways when you take that middle lane. We're going to see Right Turtle look for a B plant here, or at least a B push. They're going to be cautious because they know they have to play perfect and they can't die. Drew's going to see 2 members of the enemy team. He's going to be useful as a glimpser as well, getting those pings. And they do get it down, but he's going to get res once again. And they can probably assume that all 3 of the enemy team is going to be there. Right Turtle do have to rotate here if they're going to make something work. But they can't leave a man behind, that's for sure. MS playing aggressive, killing Frag out and downing him and finishing him out of the game. Gronky gone as well. Delana, Gronky, gone. And now we have a chance for Right Turtle. We have a game on our hands.
Within 2 to tie things up.
Who would have thought? Another map that we don't know so much about. Glacier is attack-sided, it looks like, right?
Yeah, well, I'm still a little nervous for Right Turtle, right?
Yeah.
Just because they were down before 5-1. The only difference being they won this first round. They did win that pistol. They followed it up. Before, it ended up big 6-1 before they actually started to build that comeback, I believe. And now they had that wiggle room. Again, they're only 2 down, and even if they give up 1, they have another one to react, right? To say, okay, Blackhand did this to us. They did get that second round. Let's adjust. Let's change things up. Because we know that that is Blackhand's specialty, is that they change things up, even on the defense, that they will actually get a little wonky. They might try to push you. They'll go offense for a round and just see if they can force you to make a mistake. They're very good at that. Right Turtle needs to be able to defend against those changes. They need to be open-minded to what the enemy team could be doing. And it looks like right now, Drew being off on his own scares me a little bit. You know, I like it, I understand he's the glimpse, but it does scare me.
I get what you mean because he can be a bit pushy and a bit forceful for the play, trying to make something, because he knows he's so good with his gun skill, but that's not something that works against Blackhand because they play so close together. So I get your worry there. Hopefully he has great trigger control so we can see this game go further and further and further.
Because with that Dahlia, even if you do pop out and you get that first kill, if they trade you, they get the res. Your kill isn't actually a kill. It's just a down.
Yep.
that first damage being done. EMAS taking a lot. I was trying to think, are they going to push this? And I think they even thought about it for a second. They said, no, it's not worth it. Let's not risk it. They're using a lot of utility here on both sides. Drew with a great nade. But again, it's the Link, and they're going to get it. Now, the C4 could be big. It does no damage, actually, but he wants to aggress on this. He's going to use that smoke. He's going to be able to spot, too. Gronky caught out, and oh, that's where I thought EMAS was certainly going to be peeking out, but he's going to change it up. He's going to go over towards that window, does a lot of damage. He wants to take more, but he overextends, but it's because he has the Link, but he ends up getting thirsted anyway, but that leads to a trade. We are down to this 2 versus 2, and I believe both teams are out of the Link, and the damage is done from Drew to take down Gronky. This leaves the Ronin alone, but the counter comes in. Prosper versus Delana. They stop that, and this will be able to bait that res, and it's a fast one. So they will get back up, and that is huge because they can bring it down, but the time is so low, and he's getting away. They've recovered the bomb. They need to get there. They need to plant it, and you know he's going to be getting aggressive, so you're going to plant it safe. You're going to get it down behind the hat wall. It does go down, but Delana's close by. He's low on HP, but so is Drew. Prosper coming through, trying to win it. It's Delana who's able to take that one. It's over Prosper yet again, but yet another res coming through. They need to take him down. They're hitting the shots. He's able to get it. No, you got to get around the box, and they will win it. Oh my goodness, GK. I am shaking from how that round played out.
That is unbelievable. Delana is such a monster at this game. When you think it's over, it's not over. He got one, they got rezzed. He gets another one, they get rezzed. Oh my goodness. This is going down to the wire, Heartbreaker.
GK.
Nothing can be done from either team. They don't know which way to go.
That was something. Just the back and forth. Every time Delana popped back out, he had full HP again, and he was just bringing it back again and again and again. Every time you thought, it's over. It's over for Delana. He's officially been knocked out. He said, no, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try it again. And almost each time, he took a player down. Every single time.
And it's rounds like that you understand why having a res on your team is so important. Prosper was able to save the round and keep his team in this tournament and with contention to winning the finals. Instead of being 1 round away, they're 1 round closer because of those reses that he was able to get.
Oh, when you talk about the importance of a Dahlia, that was case in point. I mean, just seeing that was perfect for how the Dahlia kept getting them back up over and over and over. And now things are much slower. These teams know just how close this is. And the 5th and final map of this series, the entire event, everything is on the line right here. He can see the nade being cooked. He's going to go ahead and adjust position. It does decent damage. He says, I'm going to go ahead and stop you guys to get me. And then with this, he cracks the fire. C4 is going to come through, but I don't think it's going to do enough damage. But that stick, though, that just might deal it, and that's going to be Prosper. But there's the trade, but another trade coming in as the EMAS comes up the zip line, takes him down, and now it is all onto Delana again. But this time, you're not taking just the 1v2. You're taking a 1 versus 3 as they get that res, and you're not going to win this one either. We are all tied up, 5-5, and they are so worked up at this point. Final map, 5-5, map 5. GK, we have been given a treat.
I think Blvk are getting nervous now, right? This is definitely, without question, an attack-sided map in 3v3. You're literally choosing when you're fighting, where you're fighting, and who's fighting. And you don't have to fight. You can just find the enemy team and rotate. And because it's such a large map and there's only certain ways to get to certain bomb sites, it's going to be tough on defense.
This is where Hvnd made the adjustments last time. This is it. When the game got close, this is where Hvnd really changed it up and made something happen. I just got so nervous when I saw that landing, and I thought he was jumping off the map, but I have looked. Everybody's still alive. I was like, not like this, not like this. But 5-5 early in the round. Minute 31 left, and it is quiet right now as we are seeing the side of right turtle get a little bit closer, but this has been seen by Delana, and he's going to hold right there, and he's going to try the biggest play, and if somebody's in that window, oh, he spots him in the corner. They're going to be able to call that. The ping is coming out. Does he use the C4? Is it? Oh, but the Ronin knife comes through, and that's going to seal it, but it's going to be Delana trying to fall back, and Prosper punishes him for it, but they get the res. He's back into the action, back to a 3v3, but I believe that Link is done, unless it was the manual res.
Both teams playing absolutely perfect here, right? One team does something right, the other team counters it. Another team does something right, it counters it. The Dahlia res comes in, fixer ult, EMP, everything is happening right now. Everything is going right and wrong for both these teams.
They're putting on a show for us and everybody tuning in at home. This is top tier row company. If you want to see the best of the best competing, this is it. This is that perfect row company we love to see. And with that bomb down and being able to fall back, this is huge. Prosper getting so much information right here is going to be able to tell his teammates, how many do I see? Who's over there? Who's pushing your left? Who's coming to your right? And they're positioned perfectly back here to stop both sides, to help each other. I love how close they are, and yet so how far they are, because one piece of utility won't shut it down. Two people pushing here on the left side is going to be a lot of damage coming out of EMAS, but he gets a lot of damage on her return. But Drew there with the cross, able to help him out. He's not done it. Deals a lot more damage to be able to calm that over, and that's going to have to push around. And that is going to be 6 rounds on the board here for Right Turtle. We are 1 round away, GK. 1 round from crowning them champions.
MS playing like a king in that round there. Played with the aggression, knowing that both the enemies are weak, and he had to make the play there, otherwise he gets isolated. Now, we've gone from a 5-1 situation, Heartbreaker, to a 6-5 situation. A 1-5 to 6-5. So they've won 5 rounds in a row after losing 5 rounds basically in a row on the opposite side of the map. Now we have tournament point, game point, match point, everything point.
This is
Right
it,
Turtle.
GK. This is it. This is what we want. A match like this, a match of this caliber, to be what we witnessed in the final, but only one team can be crowned champions, GK. Only one, and that is going to be whichever one wins one of these next 2 rounds. If it is the first round, we know it is Right Turtle. If it's the next 2 going the way of Blvk, they'll be champions, and we're about to find out if we get another round right here, right now. Oh, this is a big one.
I like what they're doing here. They're giving the bomb to MS. They're taking it off Drew's back. He's not the bomb planter. He's the playmaker, and that's why they are here right now. Drew playing his own life down below, just below his teammates, right? MS and Prosper holding that middle lane. And this is what we've seen from both sides, both teams. They love this middle position because you can go either way. Now, if Blvk starts showing their number, showing their position, Right Turtle will know how to make the play, and they will win the round because of it. So, Blvk are playing slow. They don't want to show themselves.
It's being shown. Gronky has seen it. They're able to throw that dagger. They're going to utilize that because Gronky made the call. They can easily swing this back over. Delana, though, already over here to support if they decide to stick to what they're doing over on the B-bomb site. It looks like right now they want to. They're up here towards the top of the stairs. They're trying to find out maybe where these players are, but nothing's been given to them yet. They do have the pings. They are knowing that somebody's in there. It's going to be Drew who decides to crack that, and now they're just trying to escape. A lot of damage is done, but if they push through there, they're going to run into somebody. That's going to be Frag out, but they're able to take him down. They want to get that res, and he's got the bounce back, but they're able to drop both. This could be it, GK. This could be the final round, and it looks like it just might be as they win it. And that is going to be Right Turtle, your own company championship series champion.
EU has taken it home after playing qualifier after qualifier on 100 ping. 2 EU boys plus the youngest player in this tournament have just beat the most experienced team in this tournament, the previous champs, the previous MVP. Everything has been counted. After losing 7-0, after losing that first series, our new champions are
Right Turtle.
Woo!
And what a series. What a way to come back through this tournament, GK, to make it as well as you did. Get to that upper bracket final. Go down in such a devastating fashion. Bring it all the way back. Get back to that grand final. Take them again. Even the odds. Go back up and then go down again to 2-2. Take it to the final map. Going down 5-1, GK. 5-1 in the final. And then you still bounce back on that map, and you take the victory, not giving up 1 round after being down 5-1.
And you called it. I got excited, but you called it. You said, look, we've been here before, GK, and we just saw it last map. They went 5-1 down, and it still went 6-4. I didn't believe you. I can't lie. I didn't believe him, guys. But he called it. And they just won 6 rounds in a row, wasn't it? Six rounds in a row. That's unbelievable for them to do, especially coming from a loss and an epic loss previously. Oh, there's just so much to it. I'm so proud of the EU boys for making it this far and winning it for us.
I mean, what a series. You know, throughout the event, I had a lot of game 3s, right? I finally had my first one that wasn't going to be a game 3 earlier, or rather a game 5 earlier, and then I got to this one. It was a little shaky. I thought, oh, they might be able to pull this off, to go the distance. That was exhilarating. It was a pleasure to cast alongside you for that. What a match. But now we'll throw it to the desk so they can break it down and get you guys some interviews.
That's right, Right Turtle are your RCCS champions for the weekend. I've got Captain Atsuka here again on the desk. And man, intense is the way I would describe that. Even, you know, we were even looking at it, but the map, the back turn on Wanted, impressive. Not enough, though. You get the almost the exact same thing. Instead of 6-1, it's 5-1 there on the final map. But it is a slow but steady step forward every single round for Right Turtle.
Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, going into that one, my big dread for Right Turtle was the fact that the last map of the day was on Glacier. Again, that is such a hard map, and this is something that Blackhand is really good at. They're really good at playing these close quarters. They're really good at being able to rotate together and adapt quickly. So again, I was thinking that going into this one, Blackhand had the advantage, and for the first half of the match, they did. But it was the recovery, the rebuttal, the reaction, the adaptation coming from Right Turtle that I don't think anyone saw coming. They were able to turn their own strategy against Blackhand, and it was absolutely insane.
And just the way they were playing it, the rotations that we got to see, specifically there were several moments of like, okay, go peek. Oh no, never mind. Let's go ahead, fall back, rotate over towards B. A lot of little plays, little nuances on this map that end up just making the entirety of it go in favor of Right Turtle in the second half. It took a while to get there, but they were able to get things under. And you had even said it, but there's a certain point you could watch the player cams, watch them after rounds. Once the smiles start coming, you see Prosper like starting to crack a smile. You see it from MS. Once you see Drew smiling, you even said it.
I did.
It's done. At that point, once they're all happy, they're too much to handle. And unfortunately for Blackhand, whatever it was, they ran into a brick wall and they just could not get over it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like we were talking about in the green room, as soon as you see the smile on Drew's face, you know it's nearly a wrap. But I got to say, they were very intense the entire time. They gave nothing away for free. In the second half, which they really couldn't afford to, they were able to win 6 unanswered games. Again, just playing their roles phenomenally. And as we're talking about the big switch up, you see MS actually picking up, of course, on that fixer. And then it was Drew coming in with the glimpse, that trade. At first, I thought it was a questionable call, but it was the right call.
And it, like you said, works out for them here. They end up winning this 3-2, going the distance back to back. I mean, they sat in that booth for hours today. They started at 11. It is 5 p.m. here. 6 hours of gameplay for them. And earlier today, they lost to this team 3-0. They have an explosive start at the beginning of this. It starts 1-0 for Blackhand because of that winner's advantage, and then it's just a fast game in favor of Right Turtle. Second game in favor of Right Turtle. Third game, it starts out rocky, but by the end of it, it's 7-5. They still keep it close. Impressive stuff from them. But you don't got to take it from me. You can listen to how these guys are feeling. We've got an interview standing by with the winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined with your RCCS winners, Right Turtle. Guys, I know you're freaking out. We've got Drew, Prosper Logic, and EMS here. First question I got to ask, I'm asking to you, Drew. How do you feel having won the Row Company LAN event?
I feel amazing because that's my first ever big tournament win, and all 5 of them have won so many big tournaments like 10Ks. Delana, Gronky won the last LAN. I came second, almost beat them. Feels great to beat them this time.
Absolutely. And okay, Prosper, captain of the team. There were some stressful moments throughout this entire day. I think you obviously came off the winners bracket final with a pretty big loss. What was the mentality like coming into this second set of finals against them? What was it like? How did you recover?
We just had to fully reset, forget the first match, change up the bands. As you can see, MS pulled out the Sigrid. We just played confident, we trusted each other, we traded out, and I couldn't be more proud of my team, man. I really couldn't.
Okay, and I have the honor of announcing our MVP of the tournament, Mr. EMS at the end here. How does it feel to be the MVP of this LAN event?
I'm just so happy, I can't believe it. We lost 3-0 to Fragout, then it was 5-1 last map, and we did it. I'm so proud of our team, and I want to speak for my French community as well. So, je vous avais dit quoi, les frérots? On a comeback 7-1, 5-1, 7-5. Finito, ils sont là, ils me regardent, ils ont trop le seum, c'est incroyable. MVP de cet event, enfin bref, merci beaucoup.
I am so honored to be standing here with the winners. That is such a fantastic job. I'm going to throw it back to the desk now, guys. Once again, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations are in order. Again, and you could hear it, Drew had said it. A lot of these guys in these finals, they've won LANs. Great for him to be able to pick it up. Youngest player in the tournament, and it has been a long one for them. Again, if you've been watching this entire weekend, Friday, 6 sets, group stages, and that's all we watched. There were 12 total that go on into the 6 yesterday, of course, going through the bracket. A really arduous run for these guys. At Soka, it felt incredible to see what they had, but just looking at this, seeing the path that this team had to take, that 3-0 in the semifinals stands out so much brighter now because of how those finals go.
Not to mention, if we're looking back towards the semifinals with Right Turtles' first loss against Blackhand, it wasn't just a 3-0. It was a 7-1. It was a 7-0.
Yeah.
It was one of the most dominating performances we saw from Blackhand, and being able to take that in stride, go to the lower bracket, still have a pretty good game against Aerial Arise that came down to the wire as well, only to come up back to the grand finals with the advantage in favor of Blackhand and still come out on top. If that's not athletic perseverance, I do not know what is.
Again, 6 hours. These guys start playing earlier today, and they go through, like you said, a very, very upsetting 3-0 to kick off the start. A grueling 5-game set there when they go up against Aerial Arise, and then they get to close it out again. 5 games, but they are the winners. Congratulations one more time to Right Turtle, and thank you so much for tuning in this weekend if you've been watching with us the entire time. Even if you just stuck with us for the finals, thanks for watching. From myself, from Atsoka, and of course everyone here on the casting team and production, thank you for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.